from the Boston area. But that's one of the few times that Joe even comes close to losing his cool. He didn't lose it there, but it was close.
You guys talk about playing things up. Did you play this up too much? What we're looking at right now, was this? Did you?
I think it was.
Guys,
I think
way out of proportion.
Well, see what happens in a lot of these situations, and I think what had happened, and not to sit here and condemn the media of which we are part of, but there was such a buildup to this Mike Piazza, Roger Clemens at bat.
Right.
I mean, the week leading up to it, and trust me, a lot of the Mets players were not talking about it. I was in the clubhouse. They were being asked about it. Some of them wouldn't respond. Others just said, hey, it's not an issue. But the back pages built this up to be a big issue. Therefore, there was tension. And as soon as something happened, well, then everyone had to pay it off and said, see, we told you so. So I think maybe it did get too much reaction. What about you, Tim?
Well, I mean, we're in the television business, and we try to report the facts. Now, you know, it's a producer, director at the, sometimes we're not excluded as talent in suggesting that things like that be brought back. But what you try to do is cover the story. And as you said, there was so much leading up to it, the beating on July 8th, and then the bat throwing incident. I mean, you cover it like you try to cover any story.
But I think at times you can go too much with the coverage, and I think that was the thing. And it's not just, all right, it's a World Series. You're going to get everything is blown out of proportion. Just as Vinny Agliani of the Mets, who jokingly, when asked, said, yeah, we're going to win in 5 games.
Win it in 5.
But it became, you know, a big front-page story because it is the World Series. But I think at times maybe a lot of us in the media did go too far. Well, the color guard, you see them getting ready. As we continue to get ready for our parade coverage, we should be just moments away from the beginning of the first float coming up the Canyon of Heroes. You can catch it right here on Fox 5, only if you stay with us.
New York, a hell of a town. The Bronx is up, but the battery's down. The people ride in a hole in the ground. New York, it's a hell of a town. It is
We got a whole lot of people riding in the hole in the ground today to get here. The Subway Series, the Subway to City Hall. We're going to go right now back to Dave Price down at Battery Place. Dave?
All right, we got Denny Nagel just coming around right here, actually, and we're going to just try and briefly follow him and then work our way off. We're going to work our way out in just a moment. Let's see if we can get him. Denny, you have 2 seconds? How about that for a year? Did you ever think it would turn out this way?
I was hoping this way would turn out. You know, I mean, when I came over here, I wanted to be part of a World Series team and go through this nice ticker tape parade.
Did you find it a little on the tough side in that last couple of weeks of the series, or last couple of weeks of the season?
No, I mean, you know, we knew we could get it done. You know, we knew all we needed to do was get back to postseason.
Enjoy the parade.
Thanks a lot.
Take care. All right, we're going to send back to you. We're going to head on over to the other side.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Well, that's a good sign. Players are starting to get out there on the floats.
Let's check back in with Penny, see what she's up to. Penny?
I have an exclusive for you. Part of this parade is going to have a real live subway car in it. How's that, guys?
Yeah, we heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew that? All right, now let's go over here. Oh, but let's see some of my girlfriends over here. Hey, guys! I bet you didn't think I was coming over.
Over here. I've been waiting all day to see Derek Jeter.
You have?
Yes.
You think you're all by yourself? Or you think there's about 1 million other people like you?
1 million other people like me.
I noticed your braces. I'm into braces today. They're blue.
Yes, they're blue.
Is that for Derek Jeter?
Yes, they didn't have navy blue, so I had to get this color.
All right, that's pretty good. You know what else I want to do? I got to run through these guys. Excuse me. I got to come over here. You know, I love firemen. You knew that, right, Lieutenant? I know you're a Yankee fan.
Big Yankee fan. We're all Yankee fans.
What are you guys standing out here for?
Well, we're here to put out minor fires and assist the crowd.
It's good. It's good to be like a fireman, a cop, a reporter on a day like today because you get to go in front of the line, right? But I want to find out one thing. How long have you been sitting on your mom's shoulder?
Not too long.
Speak up. We can't hear you.
Not too long.
How do you feel, Mom?
I'm okay so far. But I wish they'd got here.
They'll be here coming soon. I promise you. I promise you. Rosanna and John, these fans just really turn me on because I get to yell, "Go Yankees!"
All right, it looks like they are moving out now with the parade getting underway, and finally, I mean, moms are waiting, kids are waiting.
It's a little late.
We know that you're waiting.
We're ready
Color
for
Guard
it.
should be coming along soon.
I didn't see a lot of the players out on the floats, but I guess if they're moving the parade now, if they're moving the police up and the color guards, then you know the Yankees have to be right nearby.
Well, as we've been telling you, we've got you covered. We got reporters all over the place, cameras all over the place. You're not going to miss a thing. It's just like being there, except you're probably a little warmer where you are watching this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's amazing how a world championship affects so many people, in that we think about the ball players and people associated with the team, but I thought while Dave Price was talking to Denny Nagel, I met Denny Nagel's father after Game 5 of the World Series. Nice gentleman, Denny Nagel Sr., and he was as excited as any player just because it was the first World Championship that his son had won. You know, and the families are a part of this as well.
I don't think there's any question about that. Denny Nagel, by the way, will be a free agent this year, and it'll be interesting to see whether the Yankees elect to sign him again.
Well, it will be, especially the way that Joe Torre had him on a short leash during the World Series, which you think means he didn't have a lot of confidence in him. But in the offseason, things change, and you know, your leash is a little bit different. Maybe when you go into April, some of that confidence can be built as opposed to right now. Who knows?
Yeah, Joe has said that you change the way you manage in the postseason. You manage for outs in a game. I've never really heard it put like that, but that's why he brought David Cone in with 2 out in the 5th inning, and David got a big out in Mike Piazza.
Well, could that be the World Series trophy in that case? That's the question. That's the only case I see guys pushing around and, you know, getting special protection. I don't know. Either that or the Stanley Cup, and I don't think that's what it is. You talk about a lot of people being excited about this. I remember being in high school and growing up, and you know, we didn't have World Series parades, at least when I was growing up in Atlanta. But being a part of any parade, you see these kids that are in these high school bands or in the color guard, or these people. I mean, this is a special moment for them as well. It's not just about the baseball players.
Yes, absolutely. I wonder how they choose what bands to be in the parade, you know?
That's a good question.
I guess a lot of the bands from the Bronx have to be right there.
Well, there's Andy Pettit, the Yankees pitcher, who started and pitched so well in Game 5.
Started Game 1 and Game 5.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, Rosanna, I know why they picked one of the singers for today, John Fogerty, because he made center field popular.
There you go.
So.
All right, let's go back to Dave.
1 second. Andy, just tell us how you feel in here.
I gotta go.
As you can see, the players are ready to get onto the floats.
We have Robert Wool right here from HBO's Arliss. Of course, he plays the deal maker. It looks like he's doing it live on TV right now.
I want all my people on Fox, okay? Nowhere else but Fox are they going, okay?
There we go.
Of course, I want their pay tripled, as well everybody on Fox deserves.
So, hey, listen, you play an agent, you play right in the thick of things in the sports world in your show on HBO. What's it like to be in the thick of things right here in the Ticker Tape Parade?
It's a hoot. I mean, it's like I had about as much business being here as the man on the moon, but I was invited by Mr. Steinbrenner in the mayor's office, and it was very, very gracious to accept. And it's a kick. I mean, it's a nice, cool, crisp day, and New York's great. I mean, how cool was New York during the whole series, though? I mean, how cool was the whole city? I mean, you have other cities and they're rioting and they're going crazy. The city was just, you know, it was great to be a New Yorker.
Now, are you friends with George Steinbrenner?
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the nice things.
Now, how'd you get that? That's an agent at work.
I've been a baseball fan for a very, very long time, even before the Arliss show, actually. It's just been very, very fortunate, and it's just a baseball fan, and I talk to George like I talk to the people on the street about baseball.
All right, let's talk baseball then. The Yankees, huge payroll. I mean, that's been a lot of criticism from some of the smaller market teams. But indeed, there are other teams with huge payrolls as well that haven't done nearly as well. What do you think is going to happen as we head into next year and we're looking at possibly really paying out some big bucks to keep this nucleus of a team together? Does George do it or does he not?
Didn't Fox just pay $2.5 billion for the baseball rights? I think they'll be making a lot of money.
All right.
And I'll tell you something about George Steinbrenner. Unlike a lot of owners who I do meet, he is committed to having a winner.
All right, enjoy the parade.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Let's send it back to you guys.
All right. Talk about art and reality. Very, very thin line there. What's going on?
Well, our Tim McCarver has been on
Tim
our
was
list
on that show.
Yeah, yeah, I enjoyed that. Don't forget, Robert Wool was the manager in Bull Durham, too.
Yes, he was.
So
maybe the greatest baseball movie ever made.
Oh, I
the
think
most
so.
realistic.
I think so.
You talk to players,
that and the
people talk about
natural.
Field of Dreams.
That and the natural.
The natural? You like that one?
Yep.
Yep. Most players say Bull Durham's the most realistic. Not having played, I tell you, it's certainly one of the most enjoyable.
Crash Davis. Kevin Costner played Crash Davis.
Well, here we are waiting for our men in pinstripes to make their way on those floats, so we get to yell and scream and cheer them on for at least another few hours,
Well,
right?
things are underway. The police escort's moving along there. The SUNY color guard right behind, so should be reaching here pretty soon.
Well, we mentioned not only the players on the float, but that World Series trophy, that is what was inside that case. So there you see it. Your sneak preview of the World Series trophy before it goes up the Canyon of Heroes. And that's one of those things that after the game, Joe Torre came over and was live with us on Fox 5, so was Jorge Posada, and the two of them were carrying that trophy. And people talk about this and get old. You can see the look on their faces just holding that trophy. No, you know, as a ball player, as a manager, it never gets old when you get that little trophy in your hand, which is, you know.
It's hard to believe. The New York Yankees first became world champions in 1923. And since those 78 years, they've won the World Championship 26 times, or 1/3 of the time. So every 3 years, the Yankees have averaged winning a World Championship. And the 14 straight World Series games that the Mets broke, they broke that streak by winning Game 3, and then the Yankees started a new one. It is just remarkable what this organization has accomplished.
It really is, because, you know, we live in an age where sometimes people throw out numbers and things get overhyped, and, you know, like the postseason stats now, 50 years ago, there was no round 1 and round 2. But if you win 14 consecutive World Series games, no matter what era, that's amazing, because you're always playing the best of the best.
And arguably, winning the 4 out of 5 World Championships in this day and age, since you have 3 tiers in order to complete it, you have the divisional playoffs, the League Championship Series, and of course the World Series. 4 out of 5 World Championships is better than the 5 straight that the Yankees won from 1949 to 1953, in my view.
Back when you could keep your players because of free agency, and you talk about a guy who was in that era, Yogi Berra right now. George
We
Dave
mix
Price.
minus? What? Are we live? All right. I think we're live. My IFB, my earpiece is cut out. We're with Yogi Berra right now. Yogi, this has to be some event. It was great last year. Is it better this year?
Well, I don't know yet. We've got to get started. See what it gets better every year, I think.
Now, the Grand Marshal of Parade, it's a tremendous honor, isn't it?
Yes, it is. A real tremendous honor.
What emotions run through this year? I mean, as you were looking at the end of the season, things look kind of bleak with that losing streak. But now, it's been an amazing series. Did you think it would go as quickly as it did?
No, I didn't think it'd go 5 games. I thought maybe 6 or 7, but not 5. I thought it was a good series. It was very close. Could have gone either way.
Now, how about that Posada?
Posada?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if we had lost Posada, we would never won the pennant.
Terrific. Enjoy the parade, Yogi. Yogi Berra.
I love it that Yogi and George have made peace. And
a few years
yeah,
ago,
there was so many years that he wouldn't go to Yankee Stadium. He wouldn't come. Just so glad that rift
and he
is
seems
healed.
like he's really relishing being part of the team again. Would you agree with
No,
that?
I would certainly agree. You look at him, here's a guy who is kind of an ambassador of a different era, bringing it together and keeping that Yankee tradition intact by spanning the generations.
I remember Derek Jeter telling me a story about last year when he won his 3rd World Series ring. Yogi said, "You got to be like me, win 10. I have 10 of them." And he has 10. 10 as a player. It's unbelievable.
It really is. I mean, and that is something you can talk about this day and age. You know, I mean, Derek Jeter's got 4 at the age of 26, so he's certainly got a shot, but winning 10 is going to be very difficult this day of free agency.
Well, it looks like the color guard is moving. We don't know if the parade is officially on its way, but the color guard is moving. Maybe they're just cold. They want to get their blood moving, you know?
Well, I would think that the color guard's moving along. The parade is underway. There we go. There's, we've got a band coming along there.
We're going to have
It's the
12
Brian
high school
McMahon
bands.
Senators Marching Band, yeah. So the parade has begun. There we go. This is an all-inclusive parade. The floats are made in Jersey. This band is from Connecticut.
I know.
Oh, there's the boss. Back to...
Are we live?
Go for
Guys,
it, Dave.
we're hot right now. We're with George Steinbrenner. What a year it's been for you.
Phenomenal year. A great year. Great year for the team. Great year for New York. Tremendous. It really is.
At any point, were you particularly nervous at the end of the season?
Right? Oh, at the end of the season,
Yeah.
during the Oakland series, during the Seattle series, and during the final series. The Mets had a great team, and they gave us a real run. But our team has that indefinable quality that I call heart.
Now, what was going through your mind on that very last day when you clinched the series?
Well, we just wanted to get it over with. That's what. But I'm pleased that we won. I'm pleased for New York and all Yankee fans, all baseball fans. It focuses all the baseball fans in the country on this city.
It's a huge year for New York.
Congratulations. Enjoy the parade.
We got a great mayor, and it's a huge year. He's done it.
Thank you,
Take
George.
care.
Have a good one.
All right, with that said and done, we're going to send it back to you guys. Still, they're getting on the buses and the floats, and we have the beginning of the parade taking off.
And you can see it all coming down on top of us right now.
Yogi Berra has just pulled out, and Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick just beginning to get in their vehicle. It will be a blue Jaguar ahead of Robert Wolves.
And if there's anybody can tell us why Sarah Jessica Parker and her husband are in the parade,
strange that she's part of this parade.
Well,
it's funny because he goes, well, Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick, they'll be right ahead of Robert Wolf.
You know, what is this? Does HBO have something to do with this parade? Do they underwrite it or something? Why are they part of this parade?
Aside from being at the World Series, I have no idea why they're in that parade.
They live in New York and they're famous. That's
Hey,
why.
listen, if they had Penny in one of the floats, you know, then I would understand it.
Yeah.
But Sarah Jessica Parker, she just came on the scene as far as I know.
Here we go, off and running up through the Canyon of Heroes. What a sight, huh?
That is great. I know every time, you know, I'm a mother, so every time I see like all this ticker tape and confetti falling down, all I keep thinking about is cleaning it up. That's all I think about.
Well, I'll tell you, nobody does it better than that. It's like 40 tons of this stuff, and the sanitation department is right behind.
I heard there's 650 sanitation workers they're gonna have, you know, mops, brooms,
It'll be done in no time.
blowers, you know it.
You look at the years past, I mean, you come down here 4 hours after the parade, you'd have no idea that there was a parade here. It's so true.
It's truly amazing. The sanitation department does a phenomenal job. Not to mention the police department, the fire department, all these folks who work for the city, and they just give it their all on this day, and it usually goes off without a hitch. It has the past 3 times. This is the 4th.
It'll be interesting because a lot of sanitation department employees are Mets fans because John Franco,
that's right,
the Mets leader, his father was a sanitation worker for nearly 20 years, passed away several years ago, but Franco wears a New York City Department of Sanitation t-shirt underneath his jersey, and during the series, sanitation trucks were outside the ballpark, and they had congratulations John Franco and good luck to him. So.
What do you guys think about the Mets not participating today? They had been invited originally, and
I think it's the right move by them. I mean, this is the winner's parade, and it's tough if you have lost the World Series. And it also, I think, a lot of players look at it, why detract from the Yankees' day?
I mean, it made a lot of sense. If I were on the losing end of it, I would not have wanted to have been in the parade. I think the mayor was appropriate in saying that the Mets will be honored separately.
There's Yogi.
It's funny, everybody is screaming and shouting. There's so much enthusiasm. I think that's because they got a few nights sleep.
Finally. Well,
that was
Matthew Broderick, the Met fan, and Sarah Jessica Parker, the Yankee fan. Of course, it's not a parade until they get going, right?
That's right. Well, we just saw the trophy float going by there. There it is. There's the trophy. There it is right there. That's what we pointed out.
And there's a #1 Yankee fan right behind us. Well, #1 compared to right behind Penny Crone anyway. Mayor's on that float.
along with some of the security personnel for the New York Yankees. Who get to take part in this as
Joe
well.
Torre is on there. The coach is on there. Hal Steinbrenner, George's son, is on there.
Yeah, Joe Torre, right behind that sign, is decked out not in Yankee gear today. He's got his fedora on.
Fedora on, that's right.
Joe styling.
Yeah.
As we take a look at the final buses moving by, we are seeing Sarah Jessica Parker, Matthew Broderick, the cast of The Sopranos beginning to move through. I have an elbow in my waist right now from some of the security here. Parade now in full force. There are the Yankees. We're taking a look at the players and their families beginning to move on up at this point. Marching bands, of course. Still, we have 4 or 5, let's see, 8 double-decker buses of Yankee families and management, which are still yet to go. And of course, Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick still up, waiting for their turn. Lorraine Bracco and some of the cast of The Sopranos behind there. Let's send it back to you guys.
I am definitely confused why all these HBO stars there. Was the World Series on Fox? Where's Homer Simpson? Where's Ally McBeal? These are the people that should be in the parade.
Well, Rosanna, this is New York. It's big enough for everybody.
It is?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I thought The Sopranos lived in Jersey.
Well, but that's where the floats are made, so maybe they, they come riding over in one of the floats.
They hitch the ride?
Yeah, they hitch the ride on the float. This is some turnout today. We'll get you a crowd estimate whenever we can, but you got to figure upwards of 1.5 million, 2 million people here today, all up and down the street. A couple thousands of people here in front of City Hall waiting for the ceremony to begin.
You see these people hanging off buildings, throwing ticket tape? That's crazy.
Well, there you see some of the coaches. Billy Connor, the pitching coach with the white hair waving right there. Team Dr. Stuart Hershon right behind him. Tim, Billy Connor's an interesting story. He was, the kind of the roving pitching instructor, worked with all the levels of the Yankee organization until Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, had to leave for his cancer treatment. And it was right after he came on board that the team started struggling. And they were getting rocked, and they were having that bad losing streak in September. And the players and coaches and everyone started giving him a hard time. But they did that because they knew that he was a guy who could help this pitching staff turn around, which it did.
Ultimately, it did. Billy Connor's history is very interesting. He was a high school basketball player. When he was a senior, Pat Riley was a freshman up in Connecticut. Billy, a terrific high school basketball player in the area, but did a terrific job with the Yankee pitching staff. Not only the starters, but the very, very important two middlemen, Jeff Nelson and Mike Stanton. And obviously, we talked about Mariano Rivera before. But I think if you had to point for one sole reason why the Yankees beat the Mets, it was the pitching.
Mike Stanton could have been the MVP in a lot of people's eyes with the performance that he had. But you mentioned that Billy Connors grew up in Connecticut.
Yeah.
You look at that, this team, and we talk about Joe Torre growing up in Brooklyn, and Willie Randolph, third base coach, grew up in Brooklyn, and Lee Mazzilli. I mean, you know, there's so many New York faces on these teams that this is a special honor for them, and taking part in the Subway World Series was, too.
Don Zimmer, with his Brooklyn Dodger background, his 52nd year in baseball. We talked about who's going to come back next year. Will Joe Torre's right-hand man be next to him next year?
What do you think, Willie?
I don't know. I don't know.
Every year
he
you
knows
leave,
yet.
yeah, exactly. At the end of every season, you think, yeah, he's not going to come back. And he sounds like he's not. And then spring training, he's there.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, one more year. So I think it's one of those things that he just kind of decides at some point. He's had double knee replacement surgery, and so I think his health may be part of the.
All right, let's go back to Dave Price down at Battery Place. Dave.
All right, we have two of our favorite New Yorkers. We're right here. We have Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker. Now, of course, we have been following their marital pressure over the past several weeks. How are things going now that the Yankees have emerged victorious, Matthew?
Well, as usual, you know, they won it all, and I'm very happy for the Yankees and New York City, and my wife.
Sarah, you are gloating at this point?
Not at all. It's never attractive to gloat. I was really happy the Yankees won. I would have liked a couple more games for a little more tension. But Matthew's the reason that I love the Yankees. He introduced me to them in '96, and I've been a fan ever since. He's a baseball fan.
Now, you never thought of going over to the Mets side at all?
You know what? I love the Mets. I was so proud that they were there. They did such an amazing job this year. I was thrilled that it was a Subway Series. You know, it's hard to be a New Yorker and have two teams in there. It's very emotionally conflicting.
We should only be emotionally conflicted next year and the year after, right?
That'd be great.
Things going terrifically for your show. And Matthew, you're headed back to Broadway, I understand, yes?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I'll be doing The Producers with Mel Brooks. They're making a musical out of that movie.
Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane.
And I've heard something about a program called Sex and the City. Is that still going on?
Yeah, it is. Despite the Subway Series. But we're on hiatus right now. We come back in June for new shows.
All right, best of luck. Have you ever been to one of these before?
He was in the one in '96.
Yeah, I was here before.
It's pretty magical, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing. You know, unless if I ever turn into an astronaut and come back, I don't think I'll be in one of these parades. So I'm glad.
Or, you know, just buddy up with John Glenn or one of the shuttle folks, and maybe you guys can get going. Hey, enjoy the parade.
Thanks so much.
No
Congratulations to the Yankees and the Mets.
You bet. See you later. All right, now we have Robert Wool right here in this car, and of course, as we step back, we have John Sterling and Michael Kay over here. I'm not sure if we can get a view. And of course, look at this. I've got a new friend. This is Officer from DCPI. We're making friends all over the place, John and Rosanna. By the way, John, if you happen to have some cash for bail money a little later on, I'd appreciate it. We are just waiting for Michael Kay and John Sterling to start rolling right here. Can we just say hello to... All right, they're moving right now, so we're going to start moving with them. How about one quick shot? How's that sound go?
You mean Yankees win? Yankees win, is that what you mean?
You bet. Michael, how are you? Good. Congratulations on another great year. You excited about the ceremony later?
Yeah, it's always been great, and we're really happy that we're part of it.
Were you nervous at any point, even sitting in the booth calling these games during the streak that wasn't so great?
How about, well, at the end of the year, we knew the Yankees were going to go to the playoffs, but how about Game 5 in Oakland? That was nervous time, but this team persevered through it. It's amazing, and here they are.
Does George keep the nucleus of the team? What's your guess?
Oh, I think the nucleus of the team, yes. There'll be changes, but you know the nucleus will be back.
Gotcha. Michael, next year, do we see someone like Cone come back? Do we see O'Neill come back?
I think O'Neill wants to come back. Obviously, it's George's choice. I don't know if Cone's going to come back, not at $12 million. If he takes $500,000, make good contract, they might do it.
Gentlemen, enjoy the parade. Thanks for everything. All right, that's it from here. If you look to the look to my left, You can see we still have floats of folks. Lorraine Bracco from The Sopranos beginning to come up. And of course, all sorts of cast members. We're going to move on back this way, and for the time being, we'll send it back to you guys up in the expensive seats.
Okay.
All right, there you see Yankee manager Joe Torre and his wife, Allie.
Let's go now to check out what's going on around where Mike Sheehan is. Mike?
Yeah, how you doing? I'm right at Cedar Broadway. That's Joe Torre in the brown hat. Yogi Berra, the Grand Marshal, just passed us here. Now we have a bus. There's the boss, George Steinbrenner, up front. A lot of the Yankee families, the groundskeepers, the people behind the scenes, all the ticket booth guys. Here's another bus. Some of the people you might not recognize, but they're the guys that make these games possible. The crowds are gone wild here. You can barely hear yourself. You know, all that debate about what's the greatest Yankee team? I had a huge debate just the other night, and the guys are all here from Patrick's Pub up in Dyckman Street. Bach and Joe, they're all talking about the Yankee team from 49 to 53. You know, they won 5, and there's a lot of debate as to whether this team, who have already won 3 and 4 in the last 5 years, whether they're going to take 5. I tell you, my money's on them. They look fantastic. Just listen to this crowd. I've been out here on all of these parades, and I got to tell you, this is probably one of the biggest. The Subway Series really did it. This entire city is here cheering. There's even a lot of Met fans, believe it or not. Got some of the marching bands, a lot of the high schools are here. They obviously got the permission to have the day off. There's Bo Dietl. Bo Dietl. One of the city's top cops at one time, now one of the biggest private investigators. Let's pan back over. Let's see who else is coming up. This is another high school marching band. I can't see the name. This is a very exciting day for these kids. You know, this is something that they waited for all year. It's this and a Thanksgiving Day parade. And this is becoming a regular event here. This is an annual parade, and we love it. Okay, if you take a look down Broadway, here comes another float. Try to take a peek, see who's on this. The confetti's flying now. This float is packed with people. There's Lee Mazzilli right there. He's a first base coach. Chambliss. Chris Chambliss, one of the coaches, batting coach. We'll wait for the next float to come up. Lee Mazzilli was there. He's the first base coach. He was the former New York Met. Now in a Yankee uniform. We love him. Now I got to tell you that we're standing here on Broadway, a block away, where you can barely see the floats. I don't know if you can see it down there, but there's like, take a peek down there. He's got to pan down. They're 10 deep, and that's Trinity Place, which is the extension of Church Street. They're a block away from the crowds, and it's unbelievable. You can't get any more people on Broadway. There's another marching band. You think these guys are pumped? fans are pumped. We have another, there's a huge Department of Sanitation truck coming up. I think that's mostly just photographers and journalists. There are journalists here probably from all over the world. Every major newspaper, television network, every radio station. All here in New York to celebrate. There's a lot more coming up. Wonder what it's going to be like to clean this mess up. Sanitation has all kinds of extra personnel brought in here and all kinds of equipment. It's an amazing thing to watch. Why don't you pan up to that building? Just look at that building.
There you see Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill on the float. Apparently that's the float with the outfielders, I would guess. Wouldn't you, Tim?
That's Clay Bellinger with the camera in his right hand. It's interesting that Lee Mazzilli is the only one on the floats who's had an opportunity to go down the Canyon of Heroes as a Met and as a Yankee.
That's right.
1986 when the Mets won the World Championship, Mazzilli was a player on that team, and now first base coach for the Yankees.
Well, Dwight Gooden.
Yeah, Doc Gooden.
And
That's
David
right.
Cohn
That's
as
right.
well.
Yep.
So
Doc
among
Gooden.
the coaching staff, he is certainly the only one, and they've got a couple of pitchers as well.
I'll tell you, he's turned out to be some terrific first base coach, too. He really takes control over there. When Paul got a little bit hot under the collar the other day, he took him right out of the...
He kept him in the game.
He kept him in the game.
And there's a lot of speculation that when Joe Torre does retire or leave, what have you, that Lee Mazzilli is certainly one of the people in line to be the next manager of the New York Yankees.
He's turned out to be a terrific coach.
Chris Chambliss and Willie Randolph also with interviews with the Philadelphia Phillies, one team.
Well, I know that Willie Randolph also interviewed with the Los Angeles Dodgers. A couple of teams interested in having his services. And this is about the third or fourth year for both those guys in the rounds of interviews. So you got to think at some point they may be gone, and that becomes a question. We talk about, will Joe Torre be back? Will Don Zimmer be back? Will his coaches in Willie Randolph, Chris Chambliss? And so there could be changes with this team, not just among the players, but one thing you have to look at the Yankees and give them credit for, in this run of 4 World Series in 5 years, there are 9 players on their 25-man roster who have been part of all 4. Which in this day and age, we keep going this day and age, but that's remarkable in itself, because you can look at a lot of teams in baseball. The Mets don't have 9 players who were there 5 years ago on the team, period. You know, so to be able to not only have the same group of guys, but be successful and have them not leave through free agency or via trades, that in itself is remarkable.
And that's a real credit to the farm system of the Yankees, too. When you sign guys like Derek Jeter and Bernie Williams and Mariano Rivera and Jorge Posada, the real core players of the Yankees, then you had the foundation upon which to build champions, and that's what the Yankees have done.
Back to the parade route, Kenny Crone, what's going on with you?
Well, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it once again. It is now officially Christmas in October. All of these people have been standing here from 6 o'clock this morning, and now they're getting to see what they've been waiting for. Now, if you look here, this is a New Jersey school district marching band, Jackson School District. I think Mike Sheehan was talking about that. And you can see how excited they are, because right behind them, Rob's going to get you a shot, right behind them after the marching band is some of our Yankee players. And the fans here are going absolutely crazy. We don't know some of the people out here. Some of the people out here we've seen that just went by. Of course, Yogi Bear. Dave Price was talking to Yogi a little earlier. George Steinbrenner. Let's listen to the music, okay? The fans are just, well, you just have to be here to feel the excitement. Next best thing is watching it on television, obviously, but it is just, you know, everybody was out here earlier and they were getting kind of down and depressed a little bit. But now they're awake and they're ready to rock and roll. Let's get a shot here of the first float coming. We'll see it here. I wish the band would play. They always seem to stop.
Right now.
Will you play for us?
We'll play the Hay song. Ready? From Jackson, New Jersey.
And here comes the first float up at this vantage point. Again, we're on VC and Broadway. We're closer to Rosanna and John there at City Hall. So you can see that the floats are moving right along. Here we go. There's Lee Mazzilli, as Mike pointed out. Now I'm going to try to run up there, but I'll probably get kicked around by these cops. But we'll give it a good shot, right? We'll give it a good shot. Should I go over to John? Should I go over to Lee Mazzilli? Let's give it a shot. Here we, yeah, all right. I know you love Lee. Hey, Lee, how you doing?
How you doing, Penny?
Rosanna wants you to say hi.
Hi.
And that must be your son and your wife?
Yeah, and my two girls.
What do you think of all these people?
It's outstanding. They're nuts.
Why?
Because we're New Yorkers, that's why.
That's why I'm as bad as they are. There you go. Now we got to get the next float, obviously. We love you guys. Next one we have to, now that was Lee Mazzilli. He's the first base coach. Rosanna?
Yeah, Penn?
Did you hear him send his love to you?
We did, Penny.
Penny, my husband would like to talk to you. He's on the phone right now.
Now we're going to get Derek. I promise you I will get Derek and Paul O'Neill. I promise you, even if it means me getting arrested. But I don't see him coming yet. I see another van. Rob will show you the other van. Look at these cute little kids over here, Robbie. Robbie. You like the Yankees?
Yes.
You love the Yankees?
Yes.
Good for you. There you go. Where are you guys from?
From Brooklyn, New York.
And what's the name of your band?
Jackie Robinson Steppers.
Are they going to really do something cool?
Yeah.
Get them moving. There they go. That's great.
Right now they're doing a number called Let It Whip. They're under the direction of Tyrone Brown, band director. He started off in the band as a member, and now he's the band director.
I bet you this means a lot to you guys.
Yes, I've been in this parade before. I did the Rangers, and I did plenty of parades. I gotta go now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Here they come. Okay, no, I'm with you.
Well, there on that last float, you saw a lot of the relievers. And you talk about guys, there's certainly get a lot of credit for it. Waving right there is Mike Stanton, who we talked about earlier. Could have been the MVP.
It's pretty easy to pick up Jeff Nelson. He towers over everybody. Jason Grimsley also on that float.
You know what? You can tell these guys are just as excited as the fans. They have their own movie cameras with them. And I guess it's something they want to save and show their kids when they get a little bit older. I mean, it's not every day you're in a ticker tape parade in New York City.
You know, it's amazing. I talked to Chuck Knobloch just before Game 4, as a matter of fact, over at Shea Stadium. We were just sitting down and just talking about being a part of this. And he said even though he wasn't in the starting lineup, he was so excited. He knew he would play because it's National League Park. You get involved in the games if you're a pinch hitter or pinch runner. But one of the things that struck me that he said was, I'm on the verge of winning my 3rd straight World Series ring. How many guys alive can say that? And I mean, that really, truly does mean something to players because, you know, they don't sweat and go through all the trouble in February to be at home watching the World Series in October. They want to be a part of it.
It never gets old.
It's the reason you play the game. And every year you play, you want it to end just this way. And it has 4 out of the last 5 years, 3rd straight year for this bunch of Yankees.
Cotton-Eyed Joe.
Cotton-Eyed Joe?
Cotton-Eyed Joe.
Lots of people know him. 7th inning stretch at the stadium. Little country music, New York style.
Cotton-Eyed Joe.
To give you an idea of how difficult it was for the Yankees this year, however, consider their record of 2 years ago when they won 114 games. They won 87 this year. 27 games fewer than just 2 years ago.
They were the only team to make the playoffs and not win 90 games.
That's right.
So they went in, if you want to call seed, technically is the lowest seed in all the playoffs. And yet, they came back and did it.
Well, some of the parade is headed, well, actually just arriving here at City Hall. Haven't seen that MVP float yet with Derek Jeter on it.
He's got his own float, I understand.
That's
he'll
big.
be the only one on it because he is the World Series MVP.
Does he get to invite as many friends as he wants on it, Curt?
That'd be, what, about 2 million?
Well, I'll tell you, they're all his fans, that's for sure. Boy, it's hard to find a baseball player that has lit up a city like that guy.
And he gives back to the community, too. He does a lot of community activities.
Well, it's amazing because it really has changed him very little. You know, I mean, the guy is obviously older and he's been through a lot of things. It's all good things, mostly good things. But, you know, he looks at it and, you know, he's the same guy as far as the community relations, as far as being accessible to the media. You go out, whether it's spring training, whether it's in July, whether it's October, he is always the one player that signs autographs the most and the longest of any guy on that entire team.
And he doesn't charge them either.
No, those are absolutely free. There you saw Bernie Williams on the float with the outfielders once again. And they've got him kind of grouped. There we mentioned Derek Jeter, his father. Right to his left with the beard, Charles Jeter. And there's his mother, Dorothy, right behind him. And I do believe, well, don't want to speculate as to who the other young lady is, but, you know.
I'm sure you'll be trying to find out at some point.
There are rumors. Chuck Knobloch right behind him. We mentioned him a bit earlier as well.
Derek has his video camera. All right, Mike, what's going on where you are? Mikey Sheehan.
Hello.
Hey, Mike, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Take it away.
Okay, look, take a look at this. There's another high school band. We just had Bernie Williams pass us here at Broadway, and all of a sudden, like, I don't know, another ton of graffiti came down here, like all kinds of confetti flying. These kids are all, it's a all-girl marching band from Cathedral High School up here in First Avenue, right next to the Archdiocese. There's someone here. Here's the NYPD. Here's the NYPD, Joe Dunn. It's the NYPD marching band. These guys are all volunteers. They're each one a musician. They work in commands throughout the city. There's another, you can pan over, there's another float I can't make out from here because I'm down kind of low, but these, John, this is all I can see from here on Cedar Street, but I'll have more for you a little bit later. Let's go back to you now.
Okay, we'll check back with you a bit later. There is an awful lot to see altogether. You got 22 bands in this parade today, 18 floats altogether, and then you got cars and buses, 10 cars, 11 buses. Press things along. There's Knobloch, Mr. Jeter right there, waving.
Tino Martinez, right behind to Derek Jeter's right. Your left on the screen, waving right now. Scott Brocious, there in the front with the sunglasses and the leather jacket.
Hey, I thought this was Jeter's float. What's going on here?
Hey, he brought his buddies on with him.
All right, I like that.
You see there, though, it does say right behind, Derek Jeter MVP. That is his float. Red car, that must be Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick.
Derek looks like he's having a good time. He doesn't want to miss a minute of the action.
And all those kids at the parade today and those folks, what a magical day this is for them, something they'll remember for the rest of their lives. And the kids, of course, who are here to watch the kids who are in the parade. Something they'll remember for the rest of their lives. What a wonderful gift to the city and from the city.
There you go.
Yes, indeed.
Lots of people. Lots of people hanging out of windows, hanging over rooftops, standing on ledges. Did you see that? Crazy. But so far, everybody's safe. Everybody's playing it safe.
Well, we are very proud to be your Yankee station and bringing you this Yankee parade today. It's a thrill for us to be here, and we're so glad you're able to join us and watch this magnificent parade and this magnificent day in the greatest city on earth.
Jose Vizcaino also on that float holding his young one. Vizcaino is the guy, you know, you talk about, I think I saw it in the newspaper this morning, and I believe it was the Daily News. I apologize if it wasn't, but the perfect quote was that if everything that Midas touched turned to gold, every move that Joe Torre makes turned to victory. And, it, you know, it just proved to be that way with Vizcaino inserted into the starting lineup in Game 1 because he had a better hitting career against Al Leiter, winds up getting 4 hits in the game, including the game winner in the 12th inning.
Tim would like to say something. Put up Tim's mic here.
Jose Vizcaino was 10 for 19 against Al Leiter in Game 1, and as you said, Curt, he got the game-winning hit in the 12th inning. And he had a lot of key hits in that first game, too. As a matter of fact, he was in the thick of all the scoring when the Yankees won 4-3 in 12 innings.
That move worked out there, the second base move, by putting Luis Sojo in the game, although he came in and played third, actually. But the infield move in Game 5, Sojo comes through, gets the game-winning hit there. So once again, I mean, you know, you look like a genius. You push the buttons and they work. Yeah. But once again, the moves that Joe Torre made in this World Series would seem like minor things on paper coming through with major results.
And Bernie Williams came alive at the right time, too. In Game 5, he was locked in, was swinging very well. Homer's his first time up to put the Yankees on the board, and even though they fell behind, Derek Jeter came back to tie it, as we said earlier, with that home run in the 6th inning.
I think it shows so much about this team in that Bernie Williams, who in August a lot of people were pushing as the American League MVP and always plays well in the postseason, was 0 for 15 going into the final game of the World Series, yet they were still up 3-1.
Just staggering. His last hit was back, I think, in Game 2 of the 1999 series in Atlanta. Bernie was 0 for 22 over a 2-year period in the World Series, and finally came out of it against Leiter with 2 straight hits in Game 5.
Did he make any adjustments in his swing, Tim?
I think he did. I haven't really talked to him since that, because that was the final game. But I think he and Chris Chambliss both made an adjustment of squaring him up a little bit more. We talked about it during the broadcast, but that's the thing about the series. I mean, every at-bat is so important. Every fielded ball, every pitch that's thrown, because you're running out of time.
Covered just a little bit, huh?
Oh,
Did you see that police car go by just covered in confetti before? How far back is the float?
White of sight. They did give us a rundown of all the names of all the bands and all the names of all the folks and so forth, but the parade has gotten completely out of order. So there's a tremendous mix-up. So you have to forgive us for not being able to identify every single float and band that comes along, because they're totally out of order for some reason. The players, you recognize. And of course, that's really why we're here.
And that's Bernie Williams, his wife and kids, and You know, Bernie, during last offseason, moved to Westchester County from Puerto Rico, making New York or the New York area his home.
That's good. And I'm sure he's enjoying it.
That's Clay Bellinger. We mentioned him earlier. He's behind Bernie. And I didn't find out until this morning that Luis Sojo used Clay Bellinger's bat for the last hit. So actually, that bat's going to be sent to the World Series, and Clay Bellinger's from Oneonta, New York, only 17 miles from Cooperstown. Go figure.
And his name will be on the bat that's there in the Hall of Fame, even though he didn't get an at-bat in the World Series. Let's go back out to the parade route and Penny Crone.
And I have to say one thing, Bernie Williams, as you can see, is just a few feet away, and the people here are going bananas. He is a Bernie! What's up? They love you! I get more excited than the fans here. This is ridiculous. And I get to see them all the time. What heroes our Yankees are. Now, we're still waiting for Derek. Word has it he's coming soon. This is the Cathedral High School Manhattan Band. Hey, guys, Robbie, I got to ask you, did you see Bernie?
Yes! We love Bernie!
Is that as close as you've ever been to him?
Yes, that is!
Yeah,
Very close. Awesome, I'm having a great time.
Is it worth staying out here?
And we've been here since 7 o'clock this morning. It's awesome.
Cutter that doesn't cut.
Oh, we have to mention, you want me to mention his home run? Oh, well, we know about that home run, that winning home run, that a lot of people say maybe, wait a minute, maybe he helped us win the series. Well, we didn't need a lot of help. How you doing, John?
I'm doing great. How are you, Penny?
You got to do it for me.
The Yankees win.
And how are your triplets?
They're doing great, too.
John Sterling, I want you to know, just had triplets, right?
Triplets.
Michael, we love you. Keep up the good work. We'll see you next spring. I'm so cold I can't even talk yet. Now, where is Derek and Paul O'Neill? Did you see Derek and Paul O'Neill?
Yeah.
Where are they?
Up there.
Yeah, they're back here. I missed O'Neill? All right, well, we still got Derek coming. Okay. There's so many people on these floats. Now, NYPD marching band. These are what you call cold cops. I'll tell you, I would take this parade over any parade of the year. Thanksgiving Day, any parade. And we do it now every year. Look at this old police car. All right, where's Derek? We're still waiting. Did anybody over here see Derek yet? It's getting very annoying. Where's Derek? On DC on Broadway. Wait a minute, maybe you know. Did you see Derek?
I saw Derek a little while ago.
Is he back there?
I think he's on the, wait a second, they pulled out ahead of him.
No, he's behind you. I think he's, definitely. But we'll just keep waiting, John and Rosanna.
You'll find him. If anybody can find him, Penny, it's you.
This is driving me nuts.
Who's this? Who's this? This band coming along now? These pipers here. Do you know who this is?
I think it's the NYPD Fife and Drum Band, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we kind of.
You know, because as Penny said, check out the old car. That's called an antique car.
Rather than an old car. Yes. Yeah, actually, Penny, as we're looking at the Clydesdales marching along here, we actually did see Mr. Jeter earlier, and he didn't ask about you.
He did?
He didn't. But we'll try.
Sorry to say that he did not, but.
When you think of all of the major leaguers who have played the game and have never had an opportunity to even play in a World Series. And you look at Orlando Hernandez, we had a brief glimpse of El Duque. He defected from Cuba a little more than 3 years ago, and he's been in three consecutive World Champions. Hard to believe.
Well, you look, I mean, just want to talk about the Yankees, look at no further than Don Mattingly.
Sure.
Don Mattingly retires, plays 95 his final year. They make it as a wild card against Seattle. Lose that series in 5 games after being up 2 games to none. And the year after he retires, they win the World Series. and go on that 4 out of 5 run. And there was a guy who had a great career, had a long career, but just wasn't on the right team. You know, and so you talk about the El Duques of the world, or the Derek Jeters of the world, and guys who have opportunities, and that's why they will continually tell you, you know, look, this is an opportunity I do not take for granted, because they have seen the number of ball players who don't get this opportunity.
Well, so, you know, so many of these guys, you could almost make movie of the week movies about them. Imagine a movie about El Duque that you meant the life change in that man's life. My goodness, where he was one day and where he is now. Unbelievable. The amount of money that he was making in Cuba, $30 a month, something like that. What he's making now, and as you said, Tim, to be on his 3rd parade in New York City, my goodness. What a marvelous story. And a fabulous man, from what I'm told, a real gentleman. So many of these Yankees are.
Last night?
I think they had to be so excited. They probably slept an hour. Now, I wonder, this might be the Sword of Light Pipe and Drum Band. I'm not sure. We're looking at our list here.
There's Mariano Rivera with the Panamanian flag in his hand, representing his home country.
Mariano! Can I run up to him and give it a shot? Okay, Mariano! 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 What do you have to say to your fans?
They're the best fans ever.
The best thing ever, right?
Yes, they are.
I can't get up any higher, but we're live on Fox 5.
I tell you what, this doesn't get old. And these fans, they're number one.
How many do you think there are? 1 million?
I don't know how many, but there are millions here.
They all love you.
They all love the Yankees.
Talk about nice guys. You talk about nice guys. I mean, there's Mariano Rivera, a true gentleman in every sense of the word. So is, you know, Bernie Williams, and we saw him earlier. And those are a couple of guys that, you know, no matter what, they rarely struggle. But even when things aren't going their way, they're the same person that they are when they're, you know, knocking the cover off the ball or striking guys out in Mariano's case.
Derek Jeter the same way. Mike Stanton the same way, who went through about 6 weeks of, he couldn't do anything right there from like the All-Star break to the end of August. And all of a sudden it started falling back into place. And what would the Yankees have done without Mike Stanton in the playoffs? I think those 6 hitters that he retired in Oakland in Game 5 set the tone for the next two series, the League Championship Series and the World Series.
Hey, guys, we're looking at the Staten Island Yankees, who won their own championship, right?
Yep.
I think it's called the Penn League.
In the New York Penn League, the short season for Class A ball. And some of those guys, maybe in the future, will be taking part in another parade as a major league player with the New York Yankees.
When you consider just 6 years ago, Derek Jeter was playing for Albany.
You never know.
Now, what I was just saying, Rosanna and John, is a lot of the people on the floats, we don't know who they are. They're the behind-the-scenes people at the Yankees, or the people, like the people that work for Fox 5, like Rob Andrews and Joe Girolini and John Florence, and all the guys that are behind the cameras. I'd like to show them off once in a while. But these are what these guys do on some of these floats. Again, we're still waiting for Derek. I think he found out I'm up here at Vesey and Broadway and he decided to take a shortcut to you guys. The fans are just, you're not falling asleep over here, are you? Did you get to see Mariano?
Yeah, I'm waiting for Derek Jeter, baby.
Why is everybody waiting for Derek?
I love him.
I love him. I love him. He is cute, right?
Yes, definitely.
Somebody had a great sign here earlier. I don't know what they did with it. But it said, what's it say? Oh, there it is. Will you marry me? What would you do if Derek Jeter jumped off the float and said, I'll marry you?
I'd probably die.
How old are you?
16.
I think you're too young.
I don't think so.
I got him. I got him. I'm the perfect age for Derek, right? Let's go see if he's coming. Oh, Derek, where are you? We're waiting. We're waiting. Here comes the Francis Lewis. Excuse me? Somebody said something to me. Here comes the Francis Lewis Queens High School Marching Band. And, you know, it's funny, Mike Sheehan was saying just a few minutes ago, these kids have been waiting and waiting and waiting for this. I gotta go ask this young, beautiful lady. Are you cold?
Yes, very cold.
Did you get to see any of the players?
Yeah, a little bit. Not that much.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Canyon of Heroes. We're not exactly sure what they should be right here at City Hall. Actually, some of them have already gone by City Hall.
I'll tell you, I'm a little nervous with that girl who has the sign, Will You Marry Me,
Why?
Jeter? Because I think Penny at some point is just going to rip it out of her hands. And when Derek comes by, she's going to be flashing it in front of him.
No, Penny will be all right. We'll just have to keep an eye on her, that's it. But she is a Yankee fan, and they love her.
You know, Penny, I think, was trying to take credit for the Yankees' win. She kept saying that because Paul O'Neill hit her over the head with his mitt
glove, right,
a few times, that it was because of that. She was somehow part of the winning.
I've tried doing that with George Steinbrenner. I told him, I started working at Fox 5 in the summer of '95. They hadn't made the playoffs for years. They made it that year, and they've won 4 World Series out of the last 5 years. So I think that
So it's
somewhere
all you
along
now,
the way,
you're saying,
yeah, it's all me. Somehow somebody's got to take the credit for it, right?
All right. Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Steinbrenner has certainly given a lot to the city, not only through the team, but you don't hear a lot of the stuff that George does when it comes to charity. He is a very, very charitable man, along with the entire organization, and he does it quietly and he does it selflessly.
If you also look at the people that he takes back into his Yankee organization, the people who have been players and have sort of strayed and gotten into trouble, he's taken them back and put them, you know, in some part of the Yankee management. And that's a good-hearted person. That really is. He wants to give somebody a second chance, third chance sometimes.
Well, you talk about that, and the irony is, 1 year ago, this time, everyone was kind of celebrating the return of Darryl Strawberry who was out and didn't get to take part in the playoffs in the World Series run due to his battle with colon cancer. And obviously, once again, during the World Series, a negative Darryl Strawberry story came up once again with him having trouble in his rehab and being arrested for use of cocaine once again. But the players now seem totally, I don't want to say oblivious to it, but it certainly does not affect their performance on the field, one way or another.
Yeah, it's a horrible story. Doc Gooden, on the other hand, coming up with the Yankees in midseason, pitching against the Mets, of all people, and winning that day, realizing that had he lost or had a bad outing, it could have been the end of his career. I mean, think about where Doc Gooden started this year. Started, had spring training with Houston.
Right.
Then he went to Tampa Bay, was released from the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and then picked up after tutelage from Billy Connors down in Tampa, picked up by the Yankees and helped them a great deal in the second half of the season.
There's another movie of the week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a guy who everyone knows about his struggles with drug use, and he came back and had the no-hitter with the Yankees during his first go-round, and then this time, I mean, essentially released twice. The Houston Astros technically traded him to Tampa Bay as a favor to him since he grew up in Tampa and wanted to play for his home team, but they had no use for him. And so then he was released by the Devil Rays and came back here and lived out the dream season.
Ah, yes, there is the subway car that was actually one of the cars that was used, and it's now in the parade. That's the first. Nobody has ever had a subway car in a parade before.
Told that there are an awful lot more police officers here because I heard that they heard that I'm here. But I see Derek, and I know Rob's giving you a shot at Derek, and I'll yell as loud as I can. Derek! 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 Oh, Derek! Oh, yeah. Darn. Why did he get so many more police officers than everybody else? But you got to see him. We all got to see him. And that was an out-of-body experience. I have a feeling, Rosanna, when he gets to you, he's going to talk to you. I'm going to be very upset about that if that happens.
We're actually having lunch together after this, Penny. I didn't tell you that.
I wanted to climb up on the float, but I don't have my climbing shoes.
I'm surprised you didn't. I thought you were going to rip that sign from that girl's hand, "Will you marry me, Jeter?"
I tried everything. Well, these sanitation men are going bananas here.
You know what, Penny? I actually think he heard me, but he was hiding from you.
You know what? I tried to yell louder than anybody else here, but I don't think he heard me.
Well, the rest of New York heard you, Penny. Trust me.
Very, very noisy out here between the vans and the fans. What a sight this is, though. Every year it actually gets better and better and better. You never get tired of this.
Yeah, we're getting kind of spoiled by this parade. It's almost as if we expect it.
Yeah.
But to win the World Series is not an easy thing to do, and to do it the way these guys have been doing it year after year is truly remarkable.
I think one of the things...
There's that subway car again.
You take a look at the Yankees winning 4 World Series in 5 years, 3 straight. Think about the teams they beat. I mean, they beat Atlanta, who was not back here this year. They beat San Diego, who's not even in the playoffs this year. You know, I mean, so the Yankees continually stay at that level, whereas the other teams in baseball get there but can't stay there.
And to get to the World Series this year, they had to beat a very, very tough Oakland Athletic Club. A club that I think in the future, in the next 5 years, is may not dominate the Western Division, but they're going to be heard from in the American League. And the Seattle Mariners, we talked about Alex Rodriguez earlier. Where will Lou Piniella go after the season's over? Many managers, one here in New York City. What's going to be the fate of Bobby Valentine of the New York Mets? Will he re-sign with the Mets? Several big-name managers out there that...
Didn't Bobby say he's going to give the Mets management until Tuesday?
That's my understanding.
His contract ends tomorrow, October 31st. Right. And after that, he is a free agent.
Yeah, trick or treat, right.
Well, you certainly never heard anyone talk about a Yankee manager other than Joe Torre deciding whether or not he making the decision whether he's going to come back or not, given George's history with his managers. But he has turned out to be truly a remarkable skipper.
Well, and it's one of those, we keep talking about the past, but you look back when Joe Torre was hired after the '95 season. When Buck Showalter was fired, Joe Torre was brought in, and the headlines in the paper and all the talk around town was, hey, here's a guy who never won with the Mets. He won with the Braves, but he got fired there.
1 year.
Yeah, I mean, so what does this guy bring to the table? Does he know what he's getting into?
Is this the dancing grounds crew? Can you make out any of those steps, Curt?
Yeah, that's who it is.
That's the grounds crew there.
That's the grounds crew.
That is the grounds crew. Am I hot?
Yes, you are. In more ways than one.
Thanks.
I love the Yankees. Yankees are number one.
Thanks for all your work. Yeah. You guys are great. Thank you.
Talk about unsung heroes. How about the grounds crew? What the contribution that they make that nobody really appreciates.
They really get everybody going. And they make the place look pretty darn good, huh?
Sure. Do you think they ever get tired of hearing YMCA? I hear it's going on their float there, over and over and over and over.
This is a nice way to tire of it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's true. Lots of grounds crews would be very happy to be where they are right now.
Speaking of songs, there were so many songs to come out of this World Series. Who Let the Mets Out? If we heard that one more time. And then How You Doing?
I was just going to tell Rosanna and John that next year I'm going to apply for a job on the grounds crew. That way I can see the players all the time. It would be great.
Penny, you got to learn how to dance before then.
I would say you're hired.
I'm hired.
You got the job. There's that subway car. I just think it's absolutely remarkable that subway series, subway car. Here we are. This is how Rosanna and I got down to City Hall today from our studio on the Upper East Side. We took the subway down with.
And actually, we took the subway to Yankee Stadium one day as well.
Thousands and thousands of other fans, and just such a great symbol.
The subway car is the last thing in the parade, correct? But they're still making their way up.
It's hard to tell because the order was so discombobulated, but that's what it says on our little list of things here.
Dancing crew's still dancing. You gotta love these guys.
Well, the excitement of this day is from one end of the city to the other.
Can you use your Metro card to get on that, get in the parade?
I always wonder about sometimes in these parades, these floats, these people go by. Now we know the grounds crews, but we don't know who a lot of these other people are, but it's kind of neat. Who are you? Who are you? You're a Yankee fan, right? Of course.
That's John Fogerty, who's going to be singing and performing the song Center Field later on. Of course, famous from Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Can I talk to John Fogerty? Hey, John Fogerty, Penny Crum with Fox News. We're online. How you doing? Are you going to be singing in the near future?
Very near future.
How near? Can you sing now for me before then?
I'll sing in about an hour, yeah.
Oh, do I have to? I want to just sing to me. And I guess this is your beautiful wife and kids. Are you guys Yankee fans? Yeah. 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 Have a good time. See, Rosanna, I thought I'd get a preview, but I didn't. Oh, there you go. I got to hear it. Nice car.
John is going to be singing here during the ceremonies at City Hall when everybody arrives when the keys are presented and the players are congratulated and the mayor and George and everybody has their turn at speaking. John will have his turn singing.
You know, a lot of these guys who are musicians don't like to just sing off the cuff, you know. They save their voice for their performance.
It's called no free concert.
That's right.
Oh, Governor Carey racing.
Yeah, Governor Hugh Carey. He's about 79, 80 years old now and is in remarkable condition,
He really
both physically and mentally.
In fact, I did an event with him recently for St. John's University, and he got up there and made a 10, 15-minute speech without a script in front of him and had the place hysterical.
Yeah, he's sharp as a tack.
He is sharp.
Loves to sing. Loves to sing Irish songs.
Actually, many, many years ago, when he was running for Congress in my neighborhood in Brooklyn, I actually gave out flyers for him in my neighborhood. That was many moons ago. But he actually came back to our house after stumping all day, and my family was giving him something to eat, and my brothers and I were sleeping, and he decided to wake all of us up serenading us with Irish songs.
He can sing.
Who's here? Rosanna and John and everybody.
I think it's your favorite horses.
Oh, are they the most beautiful things you've ever seen? And I got to tell you something. On the 5th game of the World Series, before the game started, I was like so nervous I was a wreck. I went out and visited with these guys for about an hour, and I was then so relaxed. There's something about these horses that are just mellow you out, make you feel good, and make you feel like you're going to win. And I think Rob is showing you on top of the... up there you see the dog.
Sensational season with just one more victory. Made it 2 home runs on Thursday to equal his career high of 59.
I think Penny...
Okay, I didn't know. Hey guys, how you doing?
I think Penny actually asked one of those horses if they were Yankees or Mets fans.
You know what? I did that once, Rosanna and John, and it was a different news director, and I got chewed out for doing that. They say you cannot talk to horses. Let me find out what somebody thinks. Officer, what do you think of the parade so far?
Oh, it's outstanding, outstanding.
Yeah, who was your favorite player?
Bernie Williams.
Bernie Williams. It's every player. You know this. It's interesting, George Steinbrenner and Joe Torre, every one of the players on the Yankee team, none of them are superstars. They're all superstars. Let's see who else we have coming. Do you have any more players coming, guys? Does anybody know?
No, we don't know back here, Penny.
You don't either, huh?
You are our eyes in the field.
You have no idea how we got screamed at about being here. Don't let anybody from the police department know we're here.
Okay, we'll keep it just between us.
And you're certainly not making yourself known over there.
No, you never know. It's we're out here, right?
Well, actually, the parade is making its way up towards City Hall. Some of the players are getting off the buses and going inside City Hall. You think the mayor has a nice little luncheon waiting for them?
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Need some hot chocolate and soup today, though.
It's catered by an Italian restaurant in Little Italy, and it's an Italian luncheon.
Oh, beautiful.
Yep.
Are they going to feed the people outside City Hall like you and me?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
I think we're looking at the Harrison High School Marching Band.
That would be a good guess with all those H's coming at it.
looks like a lot of the floats with the players have passed on, and as they get ready to come up and have the ceremony here at City Hall, you wonder what will be the moment of this one. You start looking back, and obviously last year I think Darryl was kind of the moment of that one, and so was David Cohn because he didn't have a contract. 2 years ago, Bernie Williams didn't have a contract, and so the crowd kind of chanted, you know, 4 more years, and so it seems though every year there's a special moment that comes out of this when the players are standing up there at the podium with the crowd. It'll be interesting to see what happens this year.
It's a great negotiating arena.
It's worked for everybody so far.
I think we're looking at the Yankee organ float, and Penny's trying to find the organ.
Where is the organ? I see Yankee organist. Where's the organ?
What? We don't know. He didn't show up, but we have Nickelodeon here. He gave up on us. You missed a great float, organist. I guess it was Eddie, right?
Eddie, of course it's Eddie.
Where he is.
Eddie actually
showed up.
Well, you know what? I have a feeling Eddie's somewhere. I know Eddie.
Well, Penny,
he may not be on that float, but he's somewhere near.
Penny, Eddie is right here at City Hall.
Oh, okay. Eddie's at City Hall.
Actually, we're high.
Okay, now everybody knows where everybody is, because everyone's worried about it. I'm looking at this animal up here. What kind of animal is that? What is that? Oh, that's Scooter. Is that Scooter with a Yankees shirt on? There you go. Those are the Staten Island Yankees. Peter, thank you. Peter, our director. I don't know what to do without you, I swear. I want to see Scooter do some kind of scooter dance or something. Maybe we can get him to do it when he comes up here. This parade seems longer this year than it did last year, and the one last year seemed longer than the one that did in '96. Here comes Scooter. This is the Staten Island Scooter, right, Peter? You're all right. Staten Island Yankee, okay. A Scooter Yankee. Let's see if he wants to do an interview. Hold on a minute, because this could be important here. Are you a Staten Island Yankee? You don't talk, do you? I could talk enough for both of us.
Scooter the Holy Cow. He's with the Staten Island Yankees, single A team in Staten Island.
Right.
Brand new ballpark opening up next year, Richmond County Bank ballpark in St. George. Come out and see us.
Is he a Scooter or a Holy Cow?
He's a Holy Cow. He's Scooter the Holy Cow.
I turn around. Let me see your back. Oh, there you go, Scooter the Holy Cow.
Holy Cow.
I think if this parade keeps going, Rosanna and John, we're going to be into Thanksgiving.
You talk about Holy Cow, brings up another gentleman, Phil Rizzuto, one of the all-time greats.
There's a Holy Cow.
There's another cow, yeah.
That was on display outside Yankee Stadium, actually during the Subway Series this summer, when the two teams had interleague play, and then they dressed it up a little bit more when the World Series came around. You talk about some of the all-time greats. You saw the float there for Eddie Layton, the organist at Yankee Stadium for, I believe, just over 40 years. And this year, the PA announcer, Bob Shepard, celebrating his 50th season as the Yankee announcer, PA announcer at Yankee Stadium. And both those guys are going to take part in the ceremonies once they begin here at City Hall.
An enthusiastic fan there, throwing out the confetti.
I think that's her phone number, actually.
Well, at least she's dressed compared to, you remember last year?
Yeah.
Trying to find it would be tough.
Our guys in Chopper 5 done a yeoman's work today, flying all over the place, getting you these terrific aerial shots.
You know what? It doesn't look like the crowd is thinning out at all where the parade,
nobody, everybody's sticking around.
Yeah.
Well, they can't go to school now. I mean,
Really?
geez.
Certainly can't go back to the office. Got to do something. This is a day of celebration, that's for sure.
Oh, there are men. They're getting ready with the brooms.
They'll have it cleaned up in no time.
This is when you appreciate being a sanitation worker behind the Yankee float instead of behind the Clydesdales.
Yeah.
saw the float from Major League Baseball thanking fans of both the Yankees and the Mets. And, you know, one thing, Tim, that Major League Baseball really did was they embraced this Subway Series concept in an all-New York World Series.
Yeah, they really did. I think after interleague play, there was some concern as to with the Yankees and the Mets playing 6 games, the Yankees winning 4 out of those 6 this year. But there was some concern if there would be interest, as much interest in a Subway Series since they had played the interleague games. Well, I think the Subway Series in this area and the ratings that we had on Fox 5 were indicative of just how important it was to fans of both the Mets and the Yankees.
It's going to turn out to be the lowest rated World Series nationwide, but here locally, I mean, it's some of the highest rated television period ever in New York, and just shows you the interest of people in New York to watch this World Series, which I think a lot of New Yorkers looked at as much as an event as they did a baseball competition.
First all New York World Series since 1956.
And it wasn't just New York, Jersey, Connecticut too. Yeah, millions of people there enjoyed the games.
I think people felt they had to watch too. They wanted to be included. It was like a big, you know, group you wanted to be a part of.
Everybody was a zombie that week, I'll tell you. Between the Jets playing till 1:30 in the morning and
but that was the good thing, I think. I think it brought a lot of people, I don't want to say brought them together, but it did to a certain degree, where you look at the last couple of years, if you're a Mets fan, you may say, okay, well, it's okay that the Yankees won, but, you know, you weren't part of it. This year, fans of both teams were part of it, and people who were just peripheral sports fans got to be a part of it because it was all New York.
Well, the city that never sleeps was looking for some place to sleep by the time that last game was over.
That's all I've done for the last 2 days. I got a groove. I got a Homer Simpson groove in my couch right now, you know.
Well, everybody's up and about and wide awake today, I'll tell you.
Well, the cleanup begins, huh?
Yeah, they started already. Started cleaning up already. They'll probably have this place dusted and cleaned by the time the ceremony's over at City Hall.
I'm always amazed at how they're able to do that because there's so much confetti, so much paper everywhere you look.
It almost looks like snow in front of the plow,
yeah, it does. Well, pretty soon it will be.
I was going to say, since it's October 30th, I think we should be appreciative.
We had a few flurries yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday I was over at Giants Stadium yesterday for the Giants-Eagles game and got to see some snow flurries in the air.
This is like spring training for the sanitation workers.
You know, one of the things that, Tim, is I don't want to say impressive, but I can't think of a better word right now, is that consider the World Series ended on Thursday, and there was a lot of questions, would the parade be Friday, would it be Saturday? And we talked about there are, you know, a number of players that live here, but the majority of players do not live in the New York City area. And usually as soon as the series is over, they want to go home, win or lose. But, I mean, every single player was here today. You know, no Yankees were missing, and here we are, 4 days after they won the World Series to take part in this parade.
Also, Curt, I noticed that one of the players, I forget who it is right now, he had his son in his arms, and he said, you know what, we were hoping it wasn't going to, you know, that this parade wasn't going to be on Halloween, because that's all we've been talking about in my house.
Right,
and here he is, a champion, a World Series champion, and they're discussing whether the parade's going to be on Halloween or not.
I believe it was Tino Martinez.
I think that was the Rocket talking about that he...
You're right. That's who it was.
That he was glad to have
it was Roger Clemens.
In time for Halloween. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with more of the Parade of Champions right here on Fox 5. Welcome back to the Parade of Champions. Right now, the champions are inside City Hall, chowing
Let me
down,
clean you
having
off
lunch.
a little bit. You got some ticker tape on
It's
you.
flying all over the place here. We're getting confettied as we speak. And the Yankees are getting fed as we speak. They're having their luncheon right now. They'll be out along with the mayor and all the dignitaries shortly.
I hope
for
they
the
don't have
ceremony.
agita from that lunch.
No,
You know what they're serving?
not today. Nobody gets agita today. Everybody
Gotcha.
just gets excitement today. Speaking of excitement, let's go back to Penny on the parade trail. Penny, what's going on where you are now?
Well, I know I repeated what you said, but I had to repeat it, and I have to repeat it. Here comes the subway car. Remember we told you we're going to have a real live subway car? Well, we have one right here. This was brought in first time in history in a Yankee parade. We sure have enough Yankee parades. Look at that. And it's a real car. I just want to, Rob, pick up the refrigerator. I want to just run over and make sure it's real. Nice! I'll bet these are all subway people.
Sticking out of his pocket.
It's a real subway car.
Hey, Penny.
It's a good thing subway cars aren't that loud.
You see the guy in the front of that subway car? That's Mitch Modell.
Oh, is it?
He's like he's besides Penny, he's the #2 Yankee fan.
Well, actually, I think Modell's arranged to have that car here. And again, talk about history, the first time in history that the local to Woodlawn has made a stop at City Hall. That's never happened.
That's great. That's great. Well, maybe the people who work for Modell's were on that subway car.
Well, the Modells are very big Yankee supporters, Fox supporters, and a very big part of the city.
I actually mustered up the nerve to go to Modell's on the Saturday after the Yankees won. Oh my goodness, it was a madhouse in there. I was trying to buy shirts for the kids. It was fun.
I can imagine.
All right, John, you know, some people watch baseball for the drama, the sport.
Right.
But, you know, other people watch it for the players. We call them the baseball hotties, you know? Kimberly Richardson, check that out.
Okay, ladies, it's your chance to make the picks. No, not who's going to win the World Series, rather who you're watching.
Derek Jeter. Mike Piazza. Tino Martinez.
They like Jeter, right? Jeter and Piazza? Figures.
Who is your sexiest player?
Mike Hampton. I like Alfonso.
What about Peyton? Yeah?
I'm single.
Single and sexy. Your name has come up several times.
Oh, I think you must have a mistake.
When it comes to baseball, many argue it's as much about the game as it is about appreciating those playing the game. Case in point, Mike Piazza.
Oh, we get a lot of fans that scream for the team, but I think a lot of women scream for him. Why, I don't know. Mike's Mr. GQ. I guess the secret's to get on GQ. If you can get your face on GQ, that's it. You're the man.
Not necessarily true, Mr. Peyton.
What do you think your best asset is?
My best asset's sexy. I'm more sexy than Jeter. Who are you kidding? And I'm too sexy for my hat.
Zimmer? Nah.
If I ain't better looking than Jeter, I'll bake you a cake.
I don't want to boast or brag or anything, but I don't know. I like to think I have a little bit of everything. I don't know one thing spectacular, but got a little bit of the total package, I guess.
But when it comes to the package, sometimes it's hard to exactly pinpoint what makes a man sexy.
I like his nose. It's his Italian blood.
Nice legs and a good personality.
But ladies, what it really boils down to is a man who really knows how to play the field and not strike out.
Had to sneak that in there for the ladies, huh?
Well, you know, everybody's watching right now. I have to give something back to the ladies out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably considered one of the baseball hotties, even though you don't, you know, go out there on the
I don't
field.
think so. Tim McCarver, perhaps.
Kurt,
certainly
Kurt's
a
been
baseball
known.
hottie.
I've got the nice legs and he's got the nice personality. I think that's how it works out. When you take a look at this from a baseball perspective, I mean, I can't believe
You're ripping my leg.
I gave you the personality. What more do you want? I didn't take them both, at least. But, I mean, from a baseball perspective, let's look back at this World Series. I mean, every game, 2 were decided by 2 runs, the other 3 by 1 run. was close down the stretch, which made it a fun game.
Got to just jump in on 1 second. Some of New York's bravest are put to work there. Some of this confetti caught on fire. So earlier we were asking some of the firemen what they were doing.
1, 2, 3.
Here they are. The sanitation truck is.
Is Mike Sheehan there? Hey, Mike.
No, I can't hear you. Hold on. Now I got you. Now I got you.
This is not a big deal. It's just a little fire going on in the sanitation truck.
Take a look behind me, John.
All right, Mike.
This apparently what happened here is some of the confetti was stored in one of these sanitation trucks in the back. It's right off Cedar Street here. It might have been just one cigarette butt, but the thing went up really fast. Thank God there was fire department right down the block. They were here because some of the fire actually spread underneath cars. Like there were 2 gas tanks that almost went up. So, you know, we were very, very lucky here. You would have had a major disaster. You take a look now at the fire department from right down the street. They rushed up here. The location is right 1 block up from Cedar Street, right off Broadway. In fact, we're just about 100 feet off Broadway. If you take a look over here, pan over here, Kenny, you see the back of that red car? That bumper was actually, see the way it's melted? That actually went up, and that was just inches away from the gas tank. So you could have had a super disaster here. At the same time, the parade had just passed us. It was just ending at this end, and you had hundreds of people leaving the parade route, heading for the subways, and all of a sudden chaos. You know, you had this like heavy smoke and flames. Stuff was blowing all around, and you would have had a lot of problems if that car tank would have blown.
New York's bravest, right on it.
100%, John. They never missed a trick. They were right on top of it.
They're the best.
You know, it reminds you of '96. Remember the first year of this 5-year run, we've been doing this parade. They had another small fire like that when the exhaust, some of the confetti got caught in the exhaust of a car and started a small fire. And once again, the fire department right there on top of it to take care of it. But going back to baseball here, Tim, and we were talking about this World Series and just how close all the games were. And from a baseball standpoint, a pure baseball standpoint, this was a very good World Series despite the 4-1 count.
It was outstanding. I mean, the New York Mets could have won either of games 1 or game 4. They won game 3. I think Roger Clemens was dominating in game 2. But game 1 really hurt the Mets. That poor base running by Timo Perez. On the ball hit by Todd Zeal, the ball that just missed going out by about that much. Otherwise, it's not an extra inning game. But Jose Vizcaino coming through, and then once you give a good ball club like the New York Yankees, there's the hit by Vizcaino in the 12th inning of game 1 at 1 o'clock in the morning, as a matter of fact. But if you give an opportunity, myriad opportunities to teams like the Yankees, they will not let you up. The Yankees, I think the reason the Yankees won the series is they made many, many, many fewer mistakes than the New York Mets did.
Because it wasn't just the base running errors by the Mets in game 1. Game 2, yes, Clemens was dominating, absolutely no question. But the Mets made 3 errors in the first 2 innings and gave the Yankees a couple runs. And when you got a guy who's dominating like Clemens and you make mistakes, then it's almost impossible to overcome.
Going into game 4, we had this for the opening that the Mets were only ahead of 5 of the first 39 innings. They played 39 innings in the first 4 games, and the Mets were ahead in 5 of those innings. So when you consider that, I don't know what it was through the 9 of game 5, but when you consider all of that, you realize how dominating the Yankees were without being dominated.
Right.
You know what I mean? Without appearing to be dominated. And the reason was they did it with pitching and good, solid defense.
Well, through the magic of television, we're going to take a look back at the 5 games of the 2000 Subway World Series.
From Yankee Stadium in New York, it is Game 1 of the 2000 World Series.
Three in the 12th. Vizcaino, left field, base hit. Yankees win game 1.
Yankees win! Yankees win! Your spoon, go ahead, try. One false move and I'm black in your eye. Mind your head swells up so
If he had a problem with me at that point, I'm sure he would have been a lot more aggressive, and there would have been a different story.
Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets.
Adbayani into left center field.
Because the Mets are really socking the ball.
And the Mets take a 3-2 8th inning lead. Mets win Game 3.
Back at Shea Stadium in New York in the moments before Game 4.
A little bit of Bernie every night. A little bit of Paul O'Neill and Wright. A little bit of Tito's all we need. A little bit of Jeter, he's got speed. A little bit of Corey on the mound.
1-2. Piazza pops it up. So Joe Torre makes the move. He brings David Cohn out of the bullpen, and here it's Shea. He gets Mike Piazza to end the 5th inning.
Nelson and Stanton set him up. A little Mariano getting saved.
Yankees win Game 4.
Yankees win! Yankees win!
Yankee Mambo!
Will score, and the Yankees lead 4-2. Piazza gets into one to center. Back is Brian Williams, a three-peat.
You can see the parade has passed us. It's gone up to City Hall, but there have been some problems. As you can see, all of this paper, Mike Sheehan reported it earlier, there have been some fires. They attribute a lot of it to cigarette smoking. Maybe next year when the Yankees win, we won't have that kind of smoking permitted here on the parade route. But you're seeing the flames, the newspapers, a lot of newspapers, toilet paper, of course the ticker tape. All of it went up, a lot of it went up in flames. Now, we haven't had any reported injuries, and as Mike Sheehan reported a little bit earlier, some of the flames went under cars, but the fire department, we talked to them earlier, the firemen were out here, they were stationed almost at every corner to make sure this kind of thing didn't happen. As you can see, Rob is showing you a shot right now. The sanitation department is trying to pick up this paper as quickly as possible. This is being done a lot faster than it was done last year because of these fires that are breaking out, and in these, you know, with the wind and all the here at VZ and Broadway and down here, it gets worse, it can spread, and then you can really have problems. Another good thing that's happened is a lot of the people, the fans, have dispersed here, and now the action is going on up at City Hall. Again, everything is kind of getting back to normal here, and that's good news because overall, along this route, it's been a great parade. And I'll throw it back to John and Rosanna.
You're right, Penny, and the wind is really whipping things up.
Yeah, you can see that whipping around there. Well, another reason not to smoke.
Exactly. And it's cold out here, too.
Yes, it is.
But everybody seems to be enjoying themselves. Nobody seems to mind too much about the temperature being...
Nah, not today. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the Marvelous Yankees, and here on Fox 5 right after this, so you stay right where you are. We'll be right back.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at
And we are back waiting for the ceremony to begin. You know, this year was the first year in 42 years that we had a Subway Series, but it seemed for a time that we had one every single fall. Bob O'Brien's going to take a look back now at the history of the Subway Series.
It's a tense struggle into the last of the ninth. Johnny Podgers pitching brilliant ball, 1 out to go. Elston Howard grounds to short. Reese throws to Hodges. Brooklyn wins, and the Dodgers go wild.
The Brooklyn Dodgers won their only World Series in 1955. A sweet victory over the Yankees. But the fans of Da Bums from Flatbush could not have known that joyful day that not only would their Dodgers lose the next World Series to the Yankees, but Brooklyn would lose the Dodgers and Ebbets Field itself. Now, 2,800 families live in the 7 25-story towers that make up the Ebbets Field Houses complex in Flatbush. Of all the tenants in this housing project, 78-year-old retired Subway motorman Kenny Gordon and his wife Francina may be the ones who miss the Dodgers and Ebbets Field the most. To them, the Ebbets Field crowds were like family. Standing on the spot where home plate once was, they recalled the good times and the bad.
I saw the game that John Lawson pitched a no-hitter.
Larson on the pinnacle of unprecedented accomplishment. Pitches. Strike 3. It's the first no-hitter ever pitched in a World Series game, and a perfect no-hitter.
Perfect game. And it was a heartbreaker. It was a heartbreaker. I must admit, it was a heartbreaker for us. We were Dodger fans and everything.
I don't think Brooklyn has been the same since the Dodgers moved away from here.
The Jackie Robinson Intermediate School now stands on Sullivan Place, across the street from the spot where Robinson broke Major League Baseball's color barrier. Architectural historian Barry Lewis knows how vital that ball field was to Brooklyn.
Now, the entrance to Ebbets Field was right here at the corner, and you can imagine when a game was going to start, I mean, the whole neighborhood was abuzz, because in those days, the ball fields were part of the city. They weren't isolated by all these roads and parking lots.
Dodger fans from all 5 boroughs would ride the Brighton subway line to this Prospect Park station and emerge here on Flatbush Avenue a couple of blocks from Ebbets Field. There was even an olfactory welcome to Flatbush. That building back there was the Bond Bakery, and the aroma of freshly baked bread would fill the air back when Brooklyn was home of the Dodgers.
And the great thing about it was when a game was in session or it was about to happen or did happen, the whole community was electrified. Today, you can go to Yankee Stadium, you can go to Shea Stadium, you arrive by car, you go into the stadium, the game's over, into the car, back home. You don't even know you've been in New York City. It was a whole different world.
In 1957, the last year New York was home to 3 Major League Baseball teams, Long Island University history professor Joseph Dorenson worked as a Yankee Stadium peanut vendor. Now an authority on pop culture, Dorenson believes there's never been a baseball town like New York.
New York is really the center of this global universe. We always felt special. For example, when Jackie Robinson came, he changed America, he changed the world. This was the pioneer step for a black man to enter a white man's game and prove he was as good, if not better. We had class. Joe DiMaggio epitomized grace under pressure, the Hemingway hero. Willie Mays was a natural. He loved the game. He played across the river in Harlem, stickball with the kids. Where can you find that? In Chicago? No. L.A.? No. This is New York. It's different.
The New York Giants won 6 world championships in the 67 years they played at the Polo Grounds in Harlem. The Yankees and the Mets played in the Polo Grounds, too. A brass plaque at the base of one of the 4 Polo Grounds towers reminds young residents of the hallowed ground upon which they live. Who's the Polo Grounds rooting for in the World Series?
Yankees!
Yankees! Not one Mets fan here?
No!
But there is. Tunisia Nelson, who's lived all 22 of her years in the Polo Grounds towers, took less than a minute to write and perform a musical answer to the question of which team she likes in this World Series.
Feel the New York fury for the Subway Series. No other city can get this feeling. I'm rooting for the Mets, even though the Yankees next to my projects. The underdogs are the best. Go New York.
Bob O'Brien, Fox 5 News.
And welcome back.
I got my blankie.
I see you too.
You want to share?
It's getting a little bit nippy here, sure.
Cold.
We saw briefly, the mayor came out and just sort of looked around the podium, got a little lay of the land. Robert Merrill, I know, has come out.
I see that they brought the trophy out. They have it covered.
So just be a little bit patient. The ceremonies are about to begin.
Start. I guess everybody finished eating.
Yeah, right. And we will have you. We'll take you right to the steps of City Hall as soon as things happen. Do we want to check back in with Penny now and see what's going on
with that fire?
Oh, okay. All right, sorry. But we got a big crowd here waiting for the
to see their hometown heroes. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, John, you can tell they're spraying down the paper. It doesn't look like there's any fires.
During Bob O'Brien's piece, Tim, Curt, especially you, Tim, that bring back any good baseball memories?
Yeah. What is the first World Series you remember?
The first World Series I remember was 1951. After I grew up in Memphis, and I remember the Bobby Thompson home run.
Heard around the world.
Oh yeah, as vividly. I was 10 years old at the time, but I remember it very, very well. And then fortunately, we won the pennant on the last day of the season in 1964 and got a chance to play at Yankee Stadium. I was a member of the St. Louis Cardinals then, and all 3 games in New York. I remember my mother's first plane trip up here, my father's second. And all 3 games were about as exciting baseball games. Mickey Mantle won the first game at Yankee Stadium 2-1 with the 9th inning home run. Kenny Boyer hit a grand slam home run in the 6th inning off Al Downing to win game 2 at the stadium 4-3. And then Gibson with a phenomenal play in the 9th inning off a ball hit by Joe Pepitone. Extended it. Tom Tresh hit a 2-run homer to tie it, and then we won it in the 10th.
You talk about baseball memories, and you mentioned the Al Downing home run. Al Downing, of course, will probably always be remembered for being the guy who gave up the 715th home run to Hank Aaron.
Right.
And also, you mentioned the shot heard around the world, and Ralph Branca, who was the pitcher for the Brooklyn Dodgers then, the father-in-law of Mets manager Bobby Valentine. So the baseball connections just go on and on from one generation to the next.
They really do, particularly in New York City, in and around. I mean, when you consider that New York has had a winner in the World Series 14 years, it's hard to believe the genesis of baseball in this area, and it continues to thrive.
Well, you look at the 10-year span from the mid-40s to, well, late 40s, really, 47 to 57. I mean, 7 out of those 10 years, the World Series featured 2 teams from New York. Either Brooklyn, the Giants made it 1 year, but 6 of those 7 were the Brooklyn Dodgers and New York Yankees. The Yankees, obviously, in all 7 being the American League team.
And the only win when the Dodgers played the Yankees was 1955 when Johnny Padres pitched that great 2-0 game, the Sandy Ambrose catch.
And the Dodgers lost the first 2 games of that series.
Yeah,
and came back and won it.
That's right.
All right, we're going to go back to Penny now and for a quick update on cleaning up Broadway.
Yes.
You know, Rosanna, I heard you saying that you don't like to have a lot of parties because you always have to clean up afterwards.
That's right.
And you have kids and all that. Talk about a mess. The next time you have a party, I'm coming, I'm going to bring all this paper with me. Now, according to the fire department, most of the fires are out. As you can see, most of the fans have gone home. The only fans still left and waving are from the sanitation department, and they have their work cut out with them. Look at the way the wind is just bustling down there. Look at that lady trying to get over there. What a shame. She's going to have newspaper all over her. Now, the job now is to clean up Broadway, and as you have been saying all day, all the way from Battery Park, all the way up to you guys at City Hall, where the festivities, I know, are just about ready to begin. And we have a couple of hangers-oners, and these Yankee fans will stay Yankee fans until next spring, right? You guys will be cheering until next spring. I don't know what they're going to do now. Maybe they'll be Giant and Jet fans. But I'm going to throw it back to you, Rosanna, and you, John. You guys stay warm and try not to get sick up there.
We'll try not to. But you know what? Broadway, actually, where Penny is right now, looks a little better than it did before. I mean, you can already see the difference in cleaning up over there.
They're moving fast.
In 20 minutes. Okay, now let's talk about collectibles.
All right.
As we were walking in, they were handing out this baseball card, which Curt's eyeing, but I'm giving it to my son. Baseball obviously means big business, collectibles, and you know there was plenty of that going on right now. Now, you want to see this card? Okay, let me show you this card. That's good. This is my son's going to get this one, not Curt Menefee. Okay, so anybody who's into collectibles knows that the Yankees World Series is definitely big time. So how big? Here's Patricia Wu.
2 out. That's down the right field line in big trouble. Into the corner, it's gone.
While these guys hit home runs on the field, this guy hits them off the field. Ken Thimmel just scored the deal of a lifetime in the series of a lifetime.
This is the first Subway Series baseball that's been produced in the 114-year history of Rawlings.
And Thimmel got exclusive worldwide distribution.
It's the official leather ball, and it's got the Yankee logo on the one side and the Mets logo on the other with the World Series logo, and it says Subway Series right on the baseball.
This is where the orders come in at All American Collectibles, and it takes 20 salesmen to keep up with the calls. More than 60,000 baseballs have been sold in just the last 3 days.
We had one single customer, just to give it away as gifts, because it's such a big deal, that bought 1,000 baseballs.
Even at $24.95, that adds up, especially if you want to get a few of these limited edition Subway Series bats, too. But for fans with even deeper pockets.
This piece, actually signed by the whole team, will be this actual original, one piece, $45,000, and we'll do a limited edition of only, 20 pieces, let's say, that'll sell for $4,500.
$45,000.
Maybe you could buy that for my daughter. I'm sure she wants a little collectible from the series
I think
as
she
well.
could probably just have that little card that you just handed to you. Would be pretty good. Okay, we're going to take another break, and we'll be right back with the ceremonies here at City Hall. You stick around.
Back at City Hall, we should be moments away from the beginning of the ceremonies where the Yankees celebrate their 26th World Championship and third in a row. You know, Tim, you see there at the bottom of the screen all the retired Yankee uniform numbers. And, you can see 10 there and 15. And as you go back and the numbers under 10 that are not retired, right now 2 is still available. 6 is still available. You think maybe someday 2 worn by Derek Jeter and 6 by Joe Torre might go there?
I think within the next decade, they're both going to be taken.
Well, I don't know about the next decade with Jeter because he might still be playing a decade from now.
Well, that's right.
Certainly
that's
with Joe Torre, I think you look at this guy, and we talked before about the questions when he became manager, and now it looks like Joe Torre very well could be going to the Hall of Fame, not just as a player. He had almost a 300 lifetime batting average, and 9-time All-Star, and National League MVP, but really as a manager more than anything else.
I think what Joe Torre has done over the last 5 years, you mentioned earlier that he had 14 years as a manager before he came to New York City and the Yankees, but I think what he's done over the last 5 years ensures that he will be in the Hall of Fame, particularly when you combine it with what he did as a player.
Well, it's interesting. You look at him and you see the 2 number 8s, but the only 2 that are not available under under 10 right now are 2 and 6. Which fits perfectly.
Bill Dickey and Yogi Berra.
Yogi Berra, the 2 number 8s.
The 2 number 8s, of course.
I mentioned earlier that Robert Merrill is here. He's going to be singing the national anthem a little bit later. But, it seemed like everybody was singing something during this World Series. Everything from Who Let the Dogs Out to, what was that, Rosanna?
Actually, it was
Who Let the Dogs Out to Meet the Mets. And that's a story that Harry Martin has for you now.
Meet the Mets! Meet the Mets! Step right up and meet the Mets!
Ah, nothing like the old favorites. Met fans remember their old song, but what about the Yankee fans?
Yankees, we're gonna learn to fear the Yankees. We're gonna learn to fear the Wait. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life. You're gonna learn to fear the Yankees.
Good job, but 2000 is really the year of the dog.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
But at Z100, forget the dogs, it's...
Usually the songs, believe it or not, write themselves, even though I get paid for it. They really do flow, and then you know it's a good parody.
That song had Shea rocking when the Mets clinched, but for Yankees fans, there's only one song.
If I can make it there, I'll make it. Anywhere, it's up to you. New York, New York.
Pretty
All right.
close. Pretty good effort there.
I think that was great. You kidding me?
Not bad at all.
You talk about a great job of marketing. I think they were called the Baja Men that did the.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Everybody
They had their
that were
15
Mets
minutes.
fans thought, you know, well, they made a song for the Mets. When we were in St. Louis, it was Who Let the Cards Out. They got a version there. When I was down in
Don't
New Orleans
tell
at a
anybody.
football game,
Come on,
it's Who
you're
Let the
spoil-
Saints Out.
you're
They've got a
spoiling us.
special version for each team that they put out, marketed for those teams, and said, hey, we'll ride the wave whoever takes us there, you know? There you go.
You are a party pooper.
I know, I can't help it.
I thought it was just
Of course,
for
we
the
do
Mets.
need to hear that song one more time. Maybe we can get Sarah Jessica Parker to sing it for us. Who knows?
She might. She might.
Well, you know, we're waiting patiently, and so are hundreds of other people outside, thousands of other people outside, but who's counting? Outside City Hall, waiting for the mayor and the Yankees to come on out and start the program. They got a nice program set up for everybody.
Yep.
And we're ready.
Yeah, we are ready. Actually, we've been ready.
And we're waiting.
Well, while we are ready and waiting, it gives us another opportunity to really talk about some of the special contributions that a lot of guys on this team made. And everybody, of course, will talk about Derek Jeter and the World Series MVP and all. But you look at this team and you go throughout the season.
I'm getting other programming in my ear.
Are you really? Is it interesting? Is it something interesting?
Crazy.
Huh? Is it something interesting?
I think it's Robert Maris. I have no idea.
Maybe you're getting the parade and we're just waiting here in a time warp.
I think I'm
and you're getting
a
something
commercial
else.
right now.
Well, that's okay. What we were talking about was just this year and the amazing contributions that they have from so many different players. When you look at it, and everybody's going to talk about right now, everybody's going to talk about Derek Jeter and what he did in the World Series. But let's talk about how this team kind of got to the World Series and the contributions they got during the regular season from a guy like Andy Pettitte, who we mentioned started Game 1 and Game 5 of the series. He got the victory in Game 1, Game 5. Of course, pitched so brilliantly, battling Al Leiter, did not get the decision, but the Yankee bullpen came through for him. But Andy Pettitte came through this season, and while he didn't win 20 games like he has in the past, this probably was Andy Pettitte's best season in the majors, at least as far as what he was able to contribute to his team from a team baseball standpoint.
Hey, George Steinbrenner's out.
The
He's
Yankee
sitting
boss
down.
is waiting. He looks like, hey, come on, let's get this show on the road here. I'm sitting here, I'm waiting.
They're coming
let's
out
go.
now.
What
If
the
you
heck
can
is
cut to
going
the
on?
door.
Well, they were supposed to start at 2 o'clock, so
Right.
we're already almost a half hour
They're coming
behind.
out. I see Lee
And that's
Mazzilli.
unusual. Usually the mayor, when he orchestrates these things, and make no mistake about it, the mayor's orchestrated this. He's usually on the button.
I guess he didn't quite get the autograph signed in time, so he had to
he's
make
got
sure
it
he took a little
signed
extra time tonight.
You were talking about Andy Pettitte before. Is he in another planet when he pitches? I mean, he just zones everything out, doesn't he? He's amazing.
Yeah, he is one of those guys that's able to do that. And, you know, certain guys have the ability when they are on the mound, especially in pressure situations. And he talked about how he wanted the ball in the clinching situation. And lots of guys say that, but a lot of guys don't mean it. He truly means it because he's able to come through in those situations.
I think the Yankees have 4 guys like that, really, when you think about it. Roger Clemens, and then El Duque. I mean, who's been more successful than him in postseason play? El Duque pitching in Game 3 and losing Game 3, his first postseason loss. Now 8-1 in the postseason, but Andy Pettitte with that tunnel vision that you love to see, and the concentration that you love to see in postseason.
Well, you know, you look at El Duque, and he lost for the first time in the postseason to the Mets in that World Series game, and almost a victim of his own success, because a lot of pitchers in that situation, he had thrown, you know, more than 120 pitches. He was showing signs of running out of gas, but he talked his way into staying in, and Joe Torre says, hey, this guy's been there for me before. He's come through before. Why should I pull him? You know, when obviously you look at it, your eyes say one thing, your heart says something else.
Well, I think what Joe Torre did for the Yankees and El Duque in Game 3, Bobby Valentine was trying to do for Al Leiter in Game 5. Al Leiter had pitched thrown 140 pitches in Game 5, and there was a lot of controversy in some people's minds. as to whether he should still be in there. In my view, that's a pitcher's call, and Al Leiter should have been in there. I mean, when you give up a 38 hopper up the middle for a game-winning hit, I mean, come on.
Well, the difference is that Joe Torre kind of had some games to play with because he had games in hand.
That's true.
Whereas for the Game 5 performance of Al Leiter, I mean, you lose and the series is over. So you got to maybe manage a bit more cautiously. You look at it, and I tell you what, I mean, Leiter was just a bulldog in Game 1 and here in Game 5 as well. And certainly deserves a lot of credit and got a lot of respect from the Yankee players as well.
I think there was respect on both sides, the Mets and the Yankees. They went into it, of course,
Yogi
the Clemens incident.
The Grand Marshal of the parade. Gone from not speaking to George, not going near Yankee Stadium, to becoming the Grand Marshal of this parade.
And there's Governor Pataki all decked up in his Yankee gear.
There's the governor, yeah.
Sitting right next to Yogi. I would think that if these men are coming out onto the platform, that it's about to begin any second.
You better believe it. And it is going to be quite a nice ceremony. We have the welcome, of course, and the introduction of the Yankees. The Rockettes will be here.
The Rockettes will be here?
Yeah,
Is Sarah Jessica going to be dancing with the Rockettes?
The Rockettes will be here. It's all I know. I don't know if she does that. But,
is Matthew Broderick in here?
We're going to have an eagle. An eagle is going to fly in, or walk in, or be brought in. Challenger the Eagle. We got the Navy band performing. Of course, you'll hear from all the dignitaries. Hopefully they will keep it short and sweet because it's the players, of course, that you want to see in here.
Last year, didn't just about all the players get up there to talk?
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of them
did, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them. And usually it's kind of open and, you know, fans will chant for one guy to come up and he'll come up. But it's pretty open. Whoever wants to speak will get an opportunity to do so.
And here's the mayor.
And the boss man himself coming out. Got his Yankee jacket on.
Oh, it hit my head. Sorry.
Well, as you sit at home waiting patiently, we appreciate your patience. If we could rush it up on this end for you a little bit, believe me, we would. But
I see the Rockettes.
Aha, here we go.
Cold.
This is what we've been waiting for.
Where's their blanket?
See, we gave you the baseball hotties. Now you have your Rockettes. I think they were all dressed up in Yankee blue, too.
Those are great-looking outfits.
John Sterling testing, is this microphone working? Usually what you do when you tell a joke and nobody laughs, right?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Radio City Rockettes. Good afternoon, everyone. And no matter the weather, the sun is shining on the Yankees empire. Well, why don't we do this? To facilitate matters, let's make a date. Same time next year, another championship parade. Good afternoon. I'm John Sterling. You know, they say in sports, make the playoffs and then win your final game. And the Yankees have done that. This is 4 times in 5 years, 3 straight. In their last playoff game, they've scored more runs than the opposition. That's allowed me to say, Yankees win. The Yankees win. I know it's shameless, and quite shameless is my great partner on Yankee broadcast, Mr. Michael Kay.
Thank you, everybody. Just wanted to do a little short survey here. How many people here are Yankee fans? Yeah, I thought so. Do you know how lucky you are right now? 4 out of 5, a three-peat, 26 world championships. All this team does is win. And if you put it down and see how many levels of playoffs that this team has to win 3 in a row now, this might be the best team in the history of baseball. But rather than stand up here and talk about it, ladies and gentlemen, why don't you put your hands together and welcome the 2000 World Champion New York Yankees. There they are, ladies and gentlemen, the world champion New York Yankees.
When I was a youngster growing up in New York, the Yankees were winning a lot, and one of the reasons why was a catcher who also played first in the outfield, one of my favorite Yankees. His name was Elston Howard. Now to sing the national anthem, here is the beautiful daughter of Elston Howard, Miss Cheryl Howard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we'd watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
would like, before we begin, I'd like to ask everyone to stand and bow their heads in a moment of silence for the victims of the USS Cole and their families. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And let's thank the cadets from West Point. Thank you. Please, Governor Pataki, George Steinbrenner, all of the members of the Yankees, Joe Torre, Cheryl Howard, John Fogerty, all of the distinguished guests. Our city, as you know, has a great love for the game of baseball. And it should come as no surprise because baseball began in New York City. It did. We're going to create some controversy. Because, I mean, what's New York City without a little controversy? They say that the first baseball game was played in Cooperstown. Nope. The first baseball game was played near Murray Hill in the early 1840s. It was played on June 19, 1846, between two New York teams, the Knickerbockers and the New York Baseball Club. And the Knickerbockers won, because they were the Yankees in those days, of 23-1. Now, New York City is not a place for timid souls. We're a city that admires courage, tenacity, professionalism, and the relationship between the people of the city of New York and the New York Yankees is a love affair that goes back a very, very long time. The New York Yankees have brought us great teams, going back to Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and Joe DiMaggio and Yogi Berra. And the great teams of Thurman Munson and Reggie Jackson. But has there ever been a team better than this one? The best. This team is the very best for consistency, for teamwork, for fighting adversity and overcoming it. So I think there's a lot to be learned from the way this team plays baseball and the way in which this team has been constructed. Let me say that all of us, Yankee fans, New Yorkers, congratulate the New York Mets on winning the National League Championship and battling the Yankees so closely and so competitively. Come on, let's cheer for them. Come on! We may play them again next year, right? I think that decades from now, New Yorkers will be talking about this season. And even as we celebrate the accomplishments of both our great teams, for me, and I think for many New Yorkers, it's very, very special that the New York Yankees bring us another world championship. I want to congratulate George Steinbrenner, who has now brought 8 American League championships to the city of New York, and he's brought 6 World Championships to the city of New York, and they're getting harder to do, but more deserved. So we want to take a moment to thank George Steinbrenner for everything that he's given to the city of New York. Thank you, George. And now, I would like to ask Hal Steinbrenner and Steve Swindell to come forward so I can present them with the official proclamation. Please. It says, today is proclaimed in the city of New York, New York Yankees World Championship Day. And now, George and Joe and Steve and all of you, Governor Pataki, shall we unveil the trophy, Governor?
Get in there, Governor.
Please.
There you go.
There it is. There's the trophy. This is a celebration for the entire metropolitan area, for the entire state of New York. Everyone loves the Yankees. One of our biggest Yankee fans and biggest Yankee supporters who helped to get me all the way out to Shea Stadium, sometimes under great pressure and intimidation, is a fellow Yankee fan and a great governor, Governor George Pataki.
Thank you, Rudy. Thank you, Mayor. I don't know about all of you, but after 5 great night games, I needed the extra hour's sleep last night. Thanks for the end of daylight savings time. But to everyone here this afternoon, what a great way to start the 21st century. The 20th century, 25 Yankee World Championships. Let's make it 50 championships in the 21st century. We're 1 for 1 so far. You know, a month ago, there were a lot of doubters. There were doubters in Atlanta, doubters in Boston, doubters around the country about could the Yankees do it again? Could Paul O'Neill recover from his hip injury and have another great year? They doubted. He proved them wrong. Would Joe Torre stick with the team that had won 2 World Championships for a 3rd year? They doubted it. He proved them wrong. Could the bullpen do it again? They doubted it. They proved them wrong. Well, 3 in a row isn't bad, but I was just talking to Yogi Berra. He won 5 in a row. Let's do it again next year and the year after. But George Steinbrenner just said, thanks, Yogi, for putting the added pressure on. But let me agree with the mayor. You know, Mr. Steinbrenner, you have restored pride in the Yankees and made them champions year in and year out. And God bless you and congratulations to you. And now, one of the fun things I get to do as governor is we're in charge of license plates. And I've got a couple of them mocked up here, and we're going to get the actual plates made up for a few of the Yankees who have done so much to bring so much excitement to New York this year. And let me first call up, you all know who gets this one. The MVP of the 2000 series, Derek Jeter. He earned it. And next to the guy who has marshaled and led this team year in and year out to heights people couldn't expect, People didn't really think this would happen about a month ago, but he did it. A great manager, a great Yankee leader. The three-peat license plate to manager Joe Torre. And finally, you know, I've been a Yankee fan since the days of Mickey Mantle and Whitey Ford and Moose Scourin and Yogi Berra. But there's one guy who's outdone me in his rooting for the Yankees. He's not just a great mayor, he is the #1 fan. Mayor Giuliani. Rudy, he deserves this plate. Congratulations to all of the Yankees. Congratulations to the Mets on giving us our first Subway Series in 44 years. To the Mets fans, thank you for sticking with us, but remember, you might be unhappy. You could have been Chicago Cubs or Boston Red Sox fans, so look at the bright side of it. And to the Yankees, let's do it again next year. Congratulations to all of you.
I want to introduce my partners, John Sterling and Michael Kay, because they allow me in the booth to mess up their broadcast. Aren't they the best? And we're lucky to have them. And they're going to take over this program, and they always do a great job. John Sterling and Michael Kay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before we take over, we want to hand it over to national recording star John Fogerty, who is going to perform one of the great baseball anthems of our time. Ladies and gentlemen, John Fogerty.
Well, beat the drum and hold the phone. Sun came out today. We're born again, letting grass on the field. Just around in third and headed for home. It's a brown-eyed, handsome man. Anyone can understand the way I feel. Oh, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Well, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Look at me. I can be center field. Well, I spent some time in the mud field now, washing it from the bench. You know, I took my lumps when the mighty cage struck out. So say, hey, Willie, tell the cow, Joe DiMaggio, don't say it ain't so, you know, time is now. Oh, put me in, coach, I'm ready to play today. Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play today. Look at me, gotta be center field.
The New York Yankees, for the third time in a row, fourth time in 5 years, and 26th time in franchise history, they are the world champions.
Got a beat-up glove, a homemade bat, and a brand new pair of shoes. You know, I think it's time to give this game a rest. Just to hit the ball and touch them all, a moment in the sun. It's gone and you can tell that one's
side. Oh, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Look at me, I can be. Oh, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Well, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Look at me, gotta be Menefee. Yeah. Thank you. Hang out.
Well, now, what you and they have been waiting for, the keys to the city. First of all, here's the principal owner, Mr. George Steinbrenner.
No, he's good. And Mayor Giuliani will present the keys, and the first one who gets it will be Mr. Steinbrenner.
Right here. Stand right here. What I'll do is I'll hand you the keys and you give it to the mayor, okay? Okay, sweetie.
General partner, Hal Steinbrenner.
General partner, Steve Swindle.
The president of the Yankees, Randy Levine.
The executive vice president and COO, Mr. Lon Trost.
The assistant GM of the Yankees, Kim Eng.
Sir, I would stand that side because the camera's there.
The vice president of marketing, Debbie Timon.
The vice president of administration, Sonny Height.
Vice president of Major League Scouting, Mr. Gene Stick Michael.
And the controller of the Yankees, Robert Brown.
And a gentleman I think you'll know because he owns 10 rings, Hall of Famer Lawrence Peter Yogi Berra.
When this gentleman got to the Yankees, the big knock was he couldn't get to the World Series. Now that's all he does. All he does is win World Series. The manager of the New York Yankees, Joe Torre.
Here is a former Yankee and now the hitting coach, and we hope soon to be a Major League manager somewhere, Mr. Chris Chambliss.
The bullpen coach of the New York Yankees, Tony Cloninger.
And the pitching coach for the organization who stepped in when Mel Stottlemyre recuperated from an illness, Mr. Billy Connors.
Mr. Bob Didier.
Here's a fellow played in the major leagues with both the Mets and the Yankees. Now their first base coach, Lee Mazzilli.
This next gentleman is starting to catch up with Yogi Berra collecting rings, and we also hope that he will be a manager somewhere, maybe this year. The Yankee third base coach, Willie Randolph.
Well, Joe's bench coach and close ally Don Zimmer is home with the flu, but to receive his key to the city, here is his grandson, Mr. Bo Zimmer.
There he is.
There's Bo.
And although he's not here, we know he's watching back home on TV, and he played a big role in this. The Yankee pitching coach, who's recuperating nicely, Mr. Mel Stottlemyre.
And Mike, we also should add the general manager of the Yankees, who made all these deals to bolster the team in midseason, is attending the funeral of his mother-in-law, but we should welcome him, Mr. Brian Cashman.
Now let's welcome the support staff of the Yankees, and they're behind the scenes, but they play a huge role in this three-peat. We'll start with the Yankees massage therapist, Roland Baichu.
And here's Mike Borizello.
The head of Yankee media relations, he said he did this one for his mom, Rick Cerrone.
And here from the Yankee clubhouse, Lou Kakuza.
One of the two Yankees' great trainers, Steve Donahue.
And the team doctor, Dr. Stuart Hershon.
The strength and conditioning coach of the New York Yankees, Jeff Mangold.
Here's Brian McNamee.
The longtime trainer of the New York Yankees, Gene Monahan.
In baseball for more than 50 years, Senior Vice President, Mr. Arthur Richmond.
Fran Pirozzolo.
Well, here's a guy who does a phenomenal job. He takes us around the country from start to finish. The traveling secretary, vice president, Mr. David Zen.
This young man is the video coordinator of the Yankees, also their left-handed batting practice pitcher, and the Yankees won a lot of games against left-handers in the postseason. Charlie Wansowitz.
And assistant media relations director, Jason Zillow.
And now it's time to meet the players. The first player you meet, he's been invaluable to the Yankees. He can play every position on the field. When Bernie was hurt, he was the guy that played center field and kept the Yankees afloat. He plays all the infield positions. He could even pitch, but the Yankees didn't need him to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, Clay Bellinger.
Here's one of the top Yankees who has been here 3 years. You know what? They've won 3 world championships, a former MVP in the World Series. His base hit set up Louis Soho's base hit to win the final game. Third baseman, Scott Brocious.
For Leiter throughout his postseason career, no decision. That's down the left.
This next Yankee came to the Yankees mid-season, and he contributed right away, fit into the clubhouse beautifully, accepted his role. He's one of the great power hitters in baseball history. Ladies and gentlemen, Jose Canseco.
This young left-hander is just beginning his Yankee career, but he helped out during the season and in September to help to get the Yankees to the playoffs. Lefty out of the bullpen, Randy Choate.
This next gentleman simply pitched two of the best games in a row in baseball postseason history. He came to the Yankees because he wanted to get a ring. I guess he's getting greedy. Now he has two. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rocket, Roger Clemens.
2-2. One away. The 8-mile-per-hour pitch.
Well, this right-hander was a star before he got to the Yankees. But since he's been with the Yankees, he's been here 6 years, in the playoffs 6 times, 4 world championships, and this fella could be a Hall of Famer in years to come. Mr. David Cone.
This next gentleman was sitting home wondering if he was going to play again. You know what? The Yankees gave him a chance. His first start was in Shea Stadium, and all he did was beat the Mets. And then eventually went into the bullpen and became a great contributor out there as well. He said it's New York or bust for him. Ladies and gentlemen, the Doctor, Dwight Gooden.
One of the top members of the Yankee bullpen. He's been in 2 straight world championships for the Yanks. Right-hander Jason Grimsley.
All this next Yankee seems to do is win big games, big postseason games. He doesn't seem like pressure bothers him at all. You know him by his nickname, El Duque. Ladies and gentlemen, Orlando Hernandez.
Perez is gone.
One of the many great deals that Brian Cashman was able to make for the Yankees brought this right-hand hitter in from the Chicago Cubs, and boy, did he spark the Yanks. It seemed he hit a home run in every game in August. He had a big hit against Oakland. Here is Glenn Allen Hill.
This next Yankee joined the team full-time in 1996. I think you know what's happened since then. World champion 96, 98, 99, 2000. He's catching up with Yogi, 3 letters, MVP of the World Series, Derek Jeter.
Lighter throughout his postseason career, no decision. That's down the left field line's got a chance. Is it fair?
Well, I mentioned that Brian Cashman and staff made a lot of good deals this year, but they made none better than this one. Here's one of the top players in the majors the Yankees were lucky to get, and every time the Yankees needed a big hit, he got one. Hey, remember the 3-run home run against Seattle in Game 6? Here he is, David Justice.
Into left field, hard hit, and a heck of a
The Yankees do not get to the World Series if this next player doesn't get 2 hits in the first inning of Game 5 of the American League Division Series. All he does is get big hits. He seems to be in the middle of every single rally. Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Knobloch.
Here's a terrific Yankee. He came here in 1996. They've won 4 world championships. He always drives in 100 runs, and he saved his best for the playoffs and World Series this year. Tino Martinez.
A chance for the Yankees here in the first inning after back-to-back walks. 2 on, 2 out. A 1-2 pitch coming.
This next gentleman was another great late-season addition by the Yankees. They got him from the Cincinnati Reds, and he pitched lights out when the Yankees really needed their staff to steady out throughout all the injuries and the slumps. Ladies and gentlemen, Denny Nagel.
Baseball fans, baseball people know the chief ingredient in the Yankees' success is their fabulous bullpen. Well, here's a member in good standing in the Troika, a member of 4 Yankee World Championship teams, right-hander Jeff Nelson.
This next Yankee drove in 100 runs again, and he saved his best for last. In the World Series, he hit just under 500. He drew one of the great walks of all time in Game 1 against Armando Benitez that helped the Yankees come back and win that all-important first game. Ladies and gentlemen, the right fielder of the New York Yankees, Paul O'Neill.
Standing up. Paul O'Neill did not have a triple during the regular season.
He's hit only 1 home run.
This next member of the Yankee pitching staff has done nothing but win games, big and small, since he arrived. He always turns up big in the playoffs. This year was no exception. He also won 19 games in the regular season. Andy Pettit.
Not running. Shields strikes out. 3-2. Ventura strikes out, and Andy Pettit.
When the Yankees reacquired this gentleman in midseason, there wasn't a happier person in baseball. And boy, did he contribute. Again, that 9th inning in the first game of the World Series against Armando Benitez, he came off the bench and got a big pinch hit single. Ladies and gentlemen, he loves the Yankees, Luis Polonia.
This player has been an integral part of the Yankees during this championship run, but this year he became a big-time star, hitting 28 home runs and driving in 87 runs. He caught every pitch of every inning of every game in the playoffs and World Series. Jorge Posada.
This next gentleman is making a habit of being in every celebration photo when the Yankees win a big series. There's a reason for that. He's simply the best closer in the history of baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, Mariano Rivera.
Came up with that pitch to prevent right-handers from leaning out over the plate. With the count 1-2, he freezes.
Well, let's see if I can remember this. I think I can. It's Game 5. The game is tied at 2. 2 outs, no one on, and Posada walks, and Brochus singles. Up comes this next gentleman, who singles to center field and drives in 2 runs, and the Yankees win the World Championship. Luis Sojo.
Up the middle. Base hit. Here comes Posada. Throw to the plate. Hits the runner.
This next Yankee, all he did in the World Series was pitch and get people out. They did not score on him. He was one of the big reasons the Yankees made it this far. Pitched great in that Game 5 against the Oakland Athletics. He pitched straight throughout the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Stanton.
One of the players the Yankees acquired the middle part of the year that helped them win the division and get to the playoffs, center fielder Ryan Thompson.
The Yankees realized into the season that they needed a backup catcher for Jorge Posada. They got this gentleman, and all he did was get big hits and give them solid innings behind the plate. A big contributor to the Yankees championship, Chris Turner.
Another player came to the Yankees in midseason and played great all over the infield. But it was game 1 of the World Series in the 12th inning when he got the hit to win the game. Jose Vizcaíno.
Left field, base hit. Yankees win game 1.
And finally, this gentleman came up as a Yankee, has been a Yankee his whole life. He probably retire a Yankee. His hand is full of World Series rings, and he caught the last out of Game 5. Ladies and gentlemen, the center fielder for the New York Yankees, Bertie Williams.
That doesn't cut.
Bernie Williams breaks through, and so do the Yankees.
Well, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me.
And now we have 2 extra keys. One for John Sterling, the very best radio announcer in baseball. And another one for Michael Kay, the very best baseball announcer. Thank you, guys. You're great.
He's a New York kid from Brooklyn, a star major league player. He won the MVP one year, hitting .360. However, his greatest fame has come as manager of the New York Yankees. Here's the 4-time champion manager, Joe Torre.
This time in franchise history, they are the world champions.
Thank you. John, I hit .363, not .360. Thank you. Wow. I know I probably say this every year, but I'm sure this was the most enthusiastic crowd. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I want to thank all of you, the best fans in all of baseball, all of the world. I want to thank the support I've had not only from the fans, but from my 2 families, one in New York and the other one in Cincinnati. They're all here tonight, today, this afternoon, this morning, whatever it is. I can't say enough about this team. I know I've said this in the past, but everybody seemed to sweep us under the rug and figure this just wasn't going to be our year. And there was a little airplane trip we took from Yankee Stadium. We got on the buses, head out to the airport, and had to go back out to California again to play Game 5 against Oakland. And this ball club got a little angry. And they came back, and they would not be denied. I just, as I say, I can't say enough about the resolve and the fortitude about this group of men. They may get tired, but they never get tired of winning. I also want to congratulate the New York Mets. They, as Derek Jeter said, they were probably our toughest opponent in all the World Series. I want to congratulate Nelson Doubleday and Bobby Valentine. And I also want to thank all you Yankee fans. I don't know how you did it, but thanks for showing up at Shea for Game 5. There's a lot of pride that goes along with putting on the pinstripes, and I want to thank again. I know I've done this in the past, and I hope I do it again in the future. I want to thank George Steinbrenner for getting me over here. A couple of my coaches aren't here today, but I know they're watching. Don Zimmer, his wife Soot, and his grandson Bo are here. And Mel Stottlemyre, he also wanted me to tell you guys thank you, because the support you've given him, and I know the prayers have really worked, because he's doing very, very well. Thank you. Now, which one of these guys you want to hear from? Let's wait. Hold it. I want to start with Andy Pettit. Come on up here, Andy. Come on up here. Just say a couple of words.
Well, it's good to be here. It was good to go through the season for 1 year, not worry about maybe getting traded. That was nice. But we hung on. I stayed around for another one, and it was great. The fans have been great. We got an awesome team. We got an awesome group of guys. I love every one of the guys, and just it's a really special team we have. And it's cold, so I know y'all want to hear from somebody else, so that's all I got to say.
You know, we talk about our bullpen. Mariano Rivera, I don't know why he gets all the credit, but, you know, he's had a pretty good run at this thing. But a guy this year, as John alluded to earlier, would have had a tough time getting here without Mike Stanton. Mike, come on up here. Come on up here.
You could have warned me. You know, what can you say? The turnout is spectacular every year. This is all about you people. Hopefully we'll be able to keep the same bunch of guys around. Hopefully we'll bring Nelly back. And see if we can go for a four-peat. Thank you.
Let's not forget the arguing battery, El Duque and Jorge. Come on up here.
El Duque knows a lot of English.
Thank you. Dile que para que no se rían voy a hablar en inglés.
He says he's gonna talk in English so you guys don't laugh.
I feel very well. Thank you. Thank you.
Derek Jeter.
Thank you. What can you say about this team that hasn't been said in the past? They're resilient, hardworking, professionals. But I know one word that doesn't apply that I was hearing towards the end of the year, and that's finished. You fans should really enjoy watching this team because you're not going to see many like it. I know I definitely enjoyed playing with them, so thank you very much.
You know, over the years, and especially this year, we may not have had the best players, but there's no question we've had the best team, and maybe the best team of all time. I have no embarrassment or no hesitation in saying that. A number of years ago, George Steinbrenner introduced this young man at a writer's dinner, and he called him a warrior. The heart and soul of this club is exemplified by both these next gentlemen, Paul O'Neill and David Cohn.
Thank you very much. It's obviously a pleasure to be here again. Every year I go back to the Midwest when this is all said and done, and people come up to me and say, how in the world can you get through New York? How can you live with New York?
But I tell you, after the 8, 9 years that I've been here, I walk proud just to have a little piece of it to take home every year. Thank you very, very much.
Paulie was the first piece of the puzzle, if you remember, back in '93, the first big trade. I just want to say it's been truly an honor just to be a part of '96, '98, '99, and 2000. That's 4. And I may never get this chance again. I just wanted to thank my mother and father who are here in the stands. Thanks, Mom and Dad. And I think Joe said it right. We may not have the best players. We don't have Mickey Mantle. We don't have Yogi Berra. But when you talk about this group of Yankees, I think the saying goes, just call us Yankees, because we're champions. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are your Yankees. They leave their hearts on the field for you. Thanks for your support. Thank you very much.
In the background, the organ music of Eddie Layton, who's in his 34th year of playing for the Yankees and playing great. And here is one of the great baritones that our country has produced and one of the greatest Yankee fans. I think his number is 1.5, Mr. Robert Merrill.
I'm going to take you all out to the ball game. Maestro. Me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever got back for you. Root for the Yankees. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Once more, everybody. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the Yankees. If they don't win, it's a shame. Let me hear it. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old game.
There's one Yankee fan. How many of you know Freddie the Fan? Right? Freddie is in the hospital right now. He's going to be okay. He's just not feeling well. But I thought maybe we could all end and say goodbye by all wishing Freddie well, who's out Mount Sinai Hospital recovering. He rooted so hard for the Yankees, I think he got sick. So let's all say goodbye and wish Freddie the very, very best. And thank you, New York fans.
Well, there you go. Our coverage of the Parade of Champions here at City Hall again. This time, third time we've been here, I'll tell you.
The biggest and the best this year.
Yeah,
Did you see that confetti blowing at the end?
Biggest and the best.
Okay.
And of course, you guys are the best when it comes to the Fox 5 viewership. We're very proud to be your Yankee station. Glad you were with us this afternoon. For Tim and for Curt, Rosanna, we'll see you tonight. Wrap things up for you on the 10 o'clock news. You have a great day. We'll see you then.
Start spreading the news.
You going to sing us out?
I hope not. See you later.
We hope not.
From the moment we wake up, before me put on me makeup, me say a little prayer for you. We're gonna new year now. Me, I wonder which dress we wear now. Me say a little prayer for you. You stay in my heart.
24th time in 5 years and 26th time in franchise history they are the world champions.